At the beginning of all time, when all that one universe, a powerful race called the Supreme Saiyans ruled over all existence because with their destructive power, they had all the other races at their feet. Even these beings were able to proclaim themselves as the gods of that space. However, in that entire universe, a warrior of pure heart was not in favor of the actions of his other companions. So one day he would reveal himself. Everyone else took him to mockery, because this warrior named Yamoshi had never fought for what was believed to be a weakling. Even if I lose my life today, I've never planned to let you scumbags continue to wipe out all the beings you please. Ha ha ha! Don't say stupid things. You don't possess the necessary to be able to finish all of us. It's practically impossible for you. But at the moment, silver aura would rise all over the planet with an incredible pressure would fall on all the Saiyans. All the Saiyans were surprised because such a power was extremely incredible, hard to believe. This is impossible! I can't believe that the Saiyan whom we considered useless is capable of carrying all that incredible power. Oh, the elite warrior! Attack! Hundreds of Saiyans, without caring about the incredible pressure that Yamoshi was releasing, had rushed against him. However, these would be eradicated from a few movements of Yamoshi. However, more and more Saiyans kept attacking Yamoshi, so the more time passed, a mountain of bodies began to be created among the Saiyans. So at the moment, their king named Kurobi would step forward. I didn't think that they'd be so powerful, but it's a pity. I agree that you possess incredible power, but for us, that's nothing, since you don't even have backup. But I was also surprised when an incredible Ozaru had materialized in all his aura. Well, he was also able to throw energy spheres, being able to finish off hundreds of Saiyans in a few minutes. Unlike you, I don't need to hide in the skirts of my soldiers, as I'm powerful enough to even have to release all my Ozaru. We don't plan to come to the other world alone. You'll have to come with us. It's time, Ozaru. It'll be a dignified death to end all these wretches once and for all. Of course, if I love sacrifice contrails, cosmic rain. At the moment, the energy of both had merged into a single catastrophic amount of energy. So instantly, an amazing power was able to leave all the Saiyans on the ground, while Yamoshi charged his self-destruction. All the Saiyans would change their expression of terror when they realized that Yamoshi's body was bursting. But without having the power required to do something, a gigantic explosion had been created, which was able to eliminate everything in its path. Most of the Saiyans had perished with that Big Bang, though a few were left alive, had their powers completely sealed to them. So the powerful Zeno-sama, being the current most powerful existence of all that vast space, was able to divide it into 18 universes, creating the gods and angels so that each of these is able to have an important position for each of its universes. While on the other hand, Daishinken, the right hand of the king of everything, was analyzing the last battle that the legendary Yamoshi had. The power he used was catastrophic, but how was he able to dodge all the Saiyans at once? That's amazing. I can't believe it. No matter how great his reaction speed is, that should be impossible. Millions of years had already passed in which even a Saiyan was not even 1/100th of the incredible power that Yamoshi possessed. However, he was able to activate the Ultra Instinct in the tournament of power that they had made for the universal survival of the universes. So, the instant that the Saiyan named Son Goku, or also known as Kakarot, was able to activate the Ultra Instinct to its maximum expression, Daishinken was surprised. This is amazing. That mythical silver hair, those eyes that command respect. I'm sure Son Goku will be the successor of the legendary Yamoshi. However, without being of divine energy noticing, when Yamoshi had generated his great explosion millions of years ago, a gigantic power had been encapsulated, looking for a worthy warrior in which he's able to reincarnate. And since Son Goku was able to awaken the divine energy, he was a carrier or vessel of Yamoshi's incredible power. My friend Goku has an incredible power. He's even like Yamoshi. I want him to become much more powerful and to be the multiversal guardian. That'd be great, my lord, and I agree that with you, Mr. Goku has an incredible power, but he's still not up to the legendary god Yamoshi. I know that, Daishinken, but doesn't it seem incredible to you that at such a young age he's able to access the Ultra Instinct? That's extremely impressive. I agree with you, my lord. Moreover, it seems very surprising to me since even I, An angel who's always been categorized as a prodigy had to train for millions of years to create a state similar to that of the legendary god Yamoshi. Daishoken would take it out of his thoughts instantly, in which the battle would begin to take place with much more ferocity, since on this occasion Goku didn't possess any wear of energy. So after a few more minutes in which he was able to grant the beating of his life to Jiren, Goku would observe him intently. "Your power is amazing, but you don't possess the required power to stand up to me. Become more powerful, let's have a rematch." Goku would stretch out one of his hands, with which he was able to create a big explosion on the platform of the Tournament of Power. So at the moment, Jiren would be eliminated from the platform. With the Universe 11 has been left without any participant, so I declare Universe 7 as the winner of the Tournament of Power. Zeno-sama would raise his hands, in which they had eliminated the entire Universe 11 completely. Then, Daishoken, with the language of the gods, was able to summon the super dragon god Zalma. At the moment, the incredible dragon god would be seen by the entire Universe 7, so instantly Daishoken would be waiting for Son Goku's wish, which had been for the winner of the Tournament of Power. But before Goku's able to say anything, he would fall out of combat due to the excess energy. So instantly, Android 17 had asked for the wish to restore each and every one of the eliminated universes, leaving the rest of the gods and angels surprised by that noble wish. The god dragon Zalma would fulfill that wish, returning all the universes to normal. After a while, new enemies would arrive on planet Earth, but among the most dangerous had been the legendary Saiyan Broly, which was able to overwhelm both warriors. "No! Even if it's hard for me to admit it, I won't be able to beat Broly if we fight separately. We have to merge, Vegeta." "You know that I wish for that least, insect. I don't want to merge with you." "Vegeta, in case we don't do it, we'll be completely defeated by Broly." Broly, without waiting, had launched himself against both of them, who, despite accessing their most powerful state, were not able to face the legendary Saiyan. However, at the moment that Goku was about to use teleportation to leave with Vegeta, Broly was even able to connect a powerful blow on Goku's head. The blow had been so powerful that he was even able to knock him out of combat. "No, you damn insect. You have to wake up. I didn't think that a Saiyan like you who doesn't possess the divine energy would have so much power." Broly would begin to exchange hundreds of blows with the Saiyan Vegeta, but no matter how much Vegeta tried to defend himself, it was completely impossible for him, since the power Broly possessed was completely unlimited. Meanwhile, in Goku's internal energy, Yamoshi was able to take control of his body completely. "So after millions of years, I was able to be reborn, but I don't like the body I currently possess. Although it is capable of supporting large amounts of energy, it's still inferior to my original body." Instantly, Broly was about to end Vegeta's life. A power as well as an amazing pressure was able to be released all over the Universe 7. That pressure at this moment had even caught the attention of the deities of Universe 7. "Hey Whis, have you been able to feel all that amazing power?" "Indeed, Mr. Beerus, it's a gigantic power, which I'm sure you overcome with ease, and we'd better go investigate." "Don't say stupid things, Whis. It's true it's a great power, but it wouldn't manage to beat me." Both deities, when they met at Bulma's house, were able to reach the battlefield in a matter of seconds, being surprised to realize that the being who released all that great power was Son Goku, but even his energy was somewhat more destructive. "Hey Whis, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Are you sure that this is the same Goku we know? I can't believe I have all that power." "It is Mr. Goku, or rather his body, since with my staff I can realize that the essence and mind are not those of Mr. Goku. It seems a state of manipulation." Broly, uncontrolled by the excess of energy without caring, would pounce against Goku, who at the moment had agreed to transformation similar to that of Broly. That's right, when releasing his power, his hair would turn a green color, which made Broly retreat. "You're a Saiyan who has great power, but right now I'll teach you to respect your predecessors." Broly, with a loud scream, would also expel his power much more, but on Goku's face a smile would be drawn, which would even make Whis feel a chill on his back. At the moment, both warriors began to exchange thousands of blows all over the battlefield. However, on this occasion, although Broly's anatomy was much more robust than Son Goku's, Goku's blows were compatible of causing incredible damage all over his body, while Broly wasn't able to connect any of his. "You thought that I'd be more powerful, but apparently I'm still too powerful. It's not time for me to fully wake up yet. Goku would stretch out one of his hands, throwing a large sphere of energy at Broly, but being only a few centimeters away from crashing into Broly, he was able to be teleported to his planet where he had grown up. So Yamoshi would notice this. How interesting. You're lucky that in this visions that I'm able to have, you're the next Saiyan named Vegeta and Son Goku. You will be the three pillars of the divine energy. Goku's gaze would change to a much more serious one, being able to feel the divine energy near him. But he was surprised to realize that there were two warriors who released this great energy. The energy they release is similar to the energy of Daishinken's useless one used to release. I didn't know that they were friends or enemies. I'm still not able to unlock all the memories of this body. Beerus would immediately begin to approach Yamoshi, but Yamoshi, considering him as an enemy, would think without throwing an incredible blow, which Beerus was able to protect himself, because otherwise the damage he had received would be amazing. Beerus would instantly expel a lot of his power because he had been too angry. I don't know what the hell's wrong with you, but I plan to beat you up. Damn it. If Son Goku is able to regain consciousness, he'll take control of my body. I have to defeat him before it's too late. The battle of both warriors would have started. However, Yamoshi was surprised because although the energy of Beerus did not compare to the energy of Daishinken, his combat style was much more brutal. That's right, while the years had passed, all the gods and angels had been instructed by Daishinken, being able to possess a style of battle that very few warriors were able to follow. Beerus, at the moment, was able to connect a powerful kick in Yamoshi's back, being able to send him flying, creating a huge chaos all around. Now, if this blow would teach you to respect the warriors who are much more powerful than you. Damn, I don't have time. I have to activate a small part of the power of the Ultra Instinct. Luckily, Son Goku is able to reach this state on his own. All over the place, a great light would rise, being able to observe himself as Goku had been able to access the Ultra Instinct. Although it was not the perfect state, the power he radiated was incredible, so much so that the deities were amazed. The power that Goku's body is releasing is amazing. I can't believe it. So, the Ultra Instinct. But it's a pity that it's only a defensive state. It doesn't matter, since you won't be able to do anything against me. I must admit that I'm surprised that you activated once again, but your bad luck, you're not the only one who's able to activate the Ultra Instinct. At the moment, Beerus would begin to release an incredible power, while his destructive power grew in an incredible way. That's right, Beerus had accessed an incredible destructive state, but with that, he was able to master the Ultra Instinct to 43% of its full capacity. The incredible power of Beerus would put Yamoshi in tension, which was not expected that a god would be able to possess all that incredible power. Without the amazement of Yamoshi, Beerus was able to connect a powerful blow in the face of Goku, which due to his power would be dragged by a few mountains around him. After a few seconds, Goku was able to pull himself together, but when trying to stand up he would fall to his knees again, while too much blood spells all over the battlefield. Well. Apparently when I transform, not even the prodigy of the 12 universes is able to do something against me. Beerus would turn his back on him because he didn't intend to end Goku's life. However, to his surprise, in front of Beerus, a gigantic claw would begin to descend. Beerus, realizing too late, was not able to dodge that powerful claw, which, at the moment of colliding with Beerus' body, was able to destroy several energy veins. While his organs had been almost destroyed, but thanks to the destructive energy, he was able to save the most important organs. However, in the same way, the damage that he had received was serious. This was a noticeable amount of blood that his body expelled. Wow, I can't believe it! The blow that Mr. Goku had been able to connect to Mr. Beerus had the power to end the life of any god. Damn, Son Goku. I've never tried to end your life, and this is how you repay me. At this moment, I intend to destroy you completely. So get ready! Despite all the damage that Beerus' body had, he had thrown himself against Goku, beginning to grant him an incredible beating, of which Goku wasn't able to do anything. Beerus instantly was able to throw Goku to a few mountains, and at the moment of falling, Beerus would throw thousands of energy spheres against Goku. I'm not gonna end your life, since I'm able to realize that you're not yourself, but I'm not gonna let that humiliation pass immune. The energy spheres of Beerus were able to collide with Goku, who had returned to his base state due to the incredible damage he had received from Beerus. That's right, the power that Beerus had used in each of his energy spheres were on another level. Beerus would instantly return to his base state, and the instant he was approaching Whis, the god Beerus would likewise be out of combat. Well, I didn't expect this result. I can't believe that Mr. Goku was able to beat Mr. Beerus. It'll be better to leave. Whis would heal the wounds of all the warriors, so at the moment they would leave for all the planet of the god Beerus. After a few minutes, they were able to arrive. So Whis, with the help of his staff, was able to get Goku and Vegeta to be the first to wake up, since Whis wanted to talk about everything that had happened. I was able to wake you guys up first, as I wanted to know what happened. Ow, my head hurts too much. It's like thousands of planets have completely crushed me. In fact, it is something much worse than that, since Lord Beerus's blows are extremely powerful, even being able to defeat all the other gods together. What? Are you telling me that I fought Mr. Beerus? That must be impossible, since I remember nothing. And with the help of his staff, he was able to teach her the battle they had both had. For that very reason, I've decided that I would talk to you first, as I can't believe that the power that Mr. Goku has been able to release.
The last thing I remember was that Broly delivered a big blow to Kakarot's head, which even knocked him out of combat, until Kakarot himself came to my aid.
I don't remember any of that. I just remember that when we talked about doing the teleportation so that we'd be able to merge and defeat Broly. This would be much more complex apparently, since none of you know what really happened. Even Mr. Beerus had to access his combat form. Form of combat? Wow, that's amazing! But we better find out what happened, because I don't want to fight with Mr. Beerus again without being able to remember that legendary fight. The aspect, I totally agree, Mr. Goku, but I really don't know what happened to you, as your power grew in an impressive way.
Hey, Whis, I have an idea. What if Kakarot's being controlled by a much more powerful entity?
Would it be a bad idea to find out all the possible alternatives? Whis, with the help of his staff, was able to leave Son Goku out of combat, or rather, leave him in a state of maximum relaxation, which his spirits rest completely. Due to that technique, Yamoshi was able to make himself present once again, but this time he was on the planet of Beerus, the god of destruction.
Where the hell am I? Are they able to knock out Son Goku out of combat again? No matter what they do, they won't be able to defeat me. Who are you? And why the hell do you want to appropriate Kakarot's body?
Apparently they've been able to discover me, but it won't matter, since you won't be able to finish with Son Goku's body. Meanwhile, the Kingdom of the Whole, Daishoken would continue to be very thoughtful because of the incredible power of Son Goku, realizing that his level was threatened was of an incredible level.
The power that Son Goku has been able to raise is respectable, but if a much more powerful warrior joins forces with his elite warriors, it'd be a megaversal disaster.
Instantly, Zeno-sama would appear at Daishoken's side. What's going on, Dai? I've been thinking about you a lot lately. Is there something that's bothering you? You know that apart from being my guardian, you're my friend.
My lord, I really appreciate your words, but it's not to worry. It's just amazement. I can't believe that Mr. Goku was able to release all that power.
I was really surprised too. I can't believe my friend Goku was able to become so powerful.
That's right. I just hope that Whis is able to guide him on the path of good, because if Son Goku becomes our enemy, it'd be a danger that only Yamoshi would equal.
Don't say stupid things, Daishoken. My friend Goku would never be able to do something like that.
I trust your intuition, my lord.
Returning to the planet of Beerus, Goku's power on this occasion would begin to rise in a much more overwhelming way. So at the moment, with an incredible aura, it would be observed how Goku began to access the Ultra Instinct while his power seemed to have no limit, since incredible amounts of energy ran through his entire body.
Apparently, this body, as much more damage it receives, is able to adapt to greater loads of energy.
Vegeta would immediately access Super Saiyan Blue Maximum Power, with which he had even obtained an incredible increase of power because with his battle with Broly, he had received death damage. However, before Vegeta launches the attack, Whis would stop him with his staff.
Whis, what are you supposed to be doing?
I will take care of Mr. Goku, or rather the guy who's controlling him. I'm sure that you, Mr. Vegeta, would not be able to cope with him, since his energy is not something that even I am able to understand. Vegeta would return to his base state, while he was very surprised.
Well, so you're able to feel my original energy. Well, that's weird, because it's been a million years since my energy was felt and you didn't even exist.
For the same reason, all of us angels are able to recognize each energy, since we were created from the knowledge of the great Daishoken. Don't tell me that your father is the weakling of Daishoken. I didn't expect that. Whis was surprised to know that the warrior in front of him had been able to meet his father, but at the moment both warriors, without saying a word more, launched into an attack. The clash of their fists were incredible, so much so that on this occasion, Whis with his staff would create a barrier for Vegeta and Beerus, so at the moment he was able to continue with a great battle. However, as the battle went on, Goku began to adapt to the rhythm of Whis' battle. But in a small oversight, Whis was able to connect a punch in the stomach, sending Goku to fly to an inhospitable part of the planet of Beerus. The warrior who's controlling Mr. Goku is too strange. When I fight with Mr. Beerus, I was able to barely cope with him, but at this moment he's even able to give me battle to me.
Whis, I don't doubt you, but you better go seriously, because if that worm has the same strength as Kakarot's body, it's danger.
I agree with you, Mr. Vegeta. But from the place to which Goku had been sent, a great light would rise all over the area, while a maniacal smile would resonate all over the place.
This is amazing. Right now, I want to know if I'm able to summon my legendary Ozaru. I want to know what she's able to do.
At the moment that Goku would expel his power much more, an incredible Ozaru could be observed all over the place. An Ozaru of colossal energy would begin to form all over the planet of Beerus. So at the moment, he had thrown himself against Whis. However, at the moment that Whis would hit him, that Ozaru would explode, creating a gigantic explosion, which on this occasion would even leave in terrible conditions Whis.
I can't believe that Kakarot Bud was able to leave Whis in those conditions.
However, the planet of Beerus would immediately begin to destroy itself, while the entire Universe 7 would begin to tremble. That's right, the authentic power of an angel would become present. But before all the power was released by all the 12 universes, he was able to create a gigantic barrier, so that his energy would not be perceived by any god or angel. I can tell you that you possess an incredible power, so with you I'm not going to hold back. You are a worthy opponent.
That's what I wanted to hear. So I hope you prepare.
At the moment, the gaze would collide. So at the moment, even the energy auras would begin to collide. At that instant, both began throwing thousands of blows all over the battlefield. But this time, each of their blows had the power to destroy an entire solar system because their power was completely overwhelming. Both warriors, possessing the Ultra Instinct, possessed an incredible defense and offense. However, the more the battle went on, Whis would become to overcome, because Yamoshi's Ultra Instinct was the original Ultra Instinct, so Whis would start to wear out the more the battle went on. What the hell's going on? I possess the Ultra Angelic Instinct. It's not possible for a Saiyan to give battle to me.
Your Ultra Instinct is amazing, but you won't be able to compare yourself to my true power, as my power is much bigger than his.
At the moment, Goku's power would triple, this being a real madness, with which he was able to start beating Whis, who was not able to do anything to defend himself. At a certain point in the battle, Whis would fall to the ground on the verge of death. That's right, Goku had completely overcome it. So Goku would start approaching Whis while he'd say to himself,
It's never been my thing to play mean, but I wanted to know what was the limit of this angel.
Damn, I've been completely defeated. But at the moment, Goku would stretch out one of his hands, starting to heal each of Whis' wounds, which would leave him surprised. What is supposed to be happening to me? You almost ended my life fighting, and now you're helping me. I don't understand.
Ask for an apology, but I know that you already know me, or you should have heard about me. My real name's Yamoshi.
Whis was surprised to learn the identity of the warrior who slept in Goku's body. A legendary Yamoshi, who was able to even help the most powerful beings of divine energy, of the Supreme Saiyans of the beginning of time.
Exactly, the same. Son Goku is my reincarnation, only that I have a small left essence in his body to be able to train him and make him much more powerful. I understand that we Saiyans will be able to become more powerful, but at this moment there's no hurry, since no universe is capable of comparing with our power. No, there is a warrior who, like me, has been able to reincarnate, only I'm not able to identify him, and his power is similar to mine or even a little higher.
I understand. For that reason, you wanted to check our powers, to know if we would be up to the new challenge that is about to approach.
Exactly. I'll leave Son Goku in excellent hands. I say goodbye, and this will be the best and last reincarnation I'll have. Meanwhile, in a place far away from the entire Divine Kingdom, a being of dark energy would begin to awaken after billions of years, while his power seemed to destroy everything around him.
An incredible power would begin to be unleashed all over the place. But the distance was so great that the beings of divine energy were not able to notice absolutely anything, because the power of their new enemy was very complex, and he was just waking up since, in the same way to Yamoshi, he had to go through billions of years to be able to wake up again, for his part returning to the planet of Beerus. At this moment, Whis would begin to train both Saiyans in a much more rigorous way to be able to cope with the new enemy that was approaching. I have to be able to train both of them until they possess incredible power, because if the new warrior is able to even surpass the powerful Supreme God Yamoshi, it'll be hard to fight to win.
Hey Whis, I also want to be able to master the Ultra Instinct, because if I also have the reflexes, no warrior will be able to face me.
Beerus would once again approach towards the warriors.
Whis, don't worry about Vegeta. I'll take care of personally training him to be able to become much more powerful.
In that case, I'll train Mr. Goku.
No, Whis, I want to train for my part right now, as I feel that I have to know all my energy again.
Well, I understand, Mr. Goku. In that case, there is nothing I can do. I wish you luck. In 1 month, I want to see your progress. Everyone had left, while for his part, Goku with his teleportation would arrive on planet Earth quickly. So without warning, he would enter the room of time to be able to break each of his limits.
I sure have a lot more power. I feel like there's something being hidden from me, but I have to be able to do something.
Goku would begin with his training, which would start with a great meditation, being able to understand the divine energy much better. And in the same way, being able to completely master it. In this short period of time, they had already spent 5 years in the room of time. So at the moment, Goku would stand up.
I plan to release all my power. I want to know what my new limit is.
But Goku was surprised because by expelling all his power, he was able to access the perfect Ultra Instinct. But without stopping, he would begin to release his power much more. Even his muscles would grow in a great way. Despite the incredible power he possessed, by having all his muscles too big, his speed had been greatly reduced. So Goku would stop expelling all that power, being able to maintain the power that his body resists.
With this power, I'm able to maintain a great power and a great speed, but I must be able to withstand much more energy load.
Goku would start training in the same way, but this time all the training would be dedicated to improving his physique completely. For his part, with the Prince of the Saiyans, Beerus would grant him the best training of his existence, even being able to make him doubt himself. So at the moment that the great Vegeta was lying on the ground, Beerus would stare at him.
It's time. I'm sure Vegeta will be able to master the energy of destruction.
Beerus, with a little disbelief, would throw a small sphere of destructive energy. In case Vegeta is not able to control it, it would be completely eliminated. At the moment, the sphere of energy would collide with Vegeta's aura. His great determination was able to assimilate all the destructive energy. So the moment even his aura would change to a purple color, while his hair in the same way, Vegeta's aura would become much more destructive, and with an incredible scream, he was able to access the state of a god of destruction.
I knew you'd be able to master all that power, so it's time to start with the real training. Wow, the power I feel running through my body is incredible. I'm sure I'll be able to finish with that Kakarot insect. I'll call this transformation Ultra Ego. It's a perfect name for the state of a god of destruction, but you don't have to trust yourself since the Ultra Instinct possesses great instinctual reflexes. Unlike the Ultra Ego that also possesses them but on a lower level, its defense is capable of disintegrating any warrior that doesn't surpass your power. In that case, I now have to become much more powerful, and that's what I wanted. Follow me, training Beerus, please.
Returning to the room of time, Goku had been able to reach an incredible level. However, Yamoshi, who was sleeping inside, was aware that power was not enough to end the new warrior.
I'll have to give him a good humbling so that he has a motivation to become much more powerful.
Yamoshi, using a little more of his divine essence, he would be able to manifest in front of Goku. But at the moment, the whole environment would change completely, because even the Room of Time wasn't able to withstand all the incredible power that was emanating from Yamoshi's body. Goku at the moment would feel like an incredible pressure would fall on his entire body, which is almost not able to let him move freely.
What is this? I feel like some incredible authority's trying to make me kneel. It's my Saiyan instinct, which forces you to give me reverence to the self being much more powerful than you. But at this moment, I'll diminish it so you can move freely.
Yamoshi at the moment was able to stop releasing his incredible pressure, so at the moment he would observe Kakarot fixedly.
Right now you're gonna face me, so better use all your power from the beginning.
I don't know who you are, but I became powerful, so it won't be necessary to use all my power.
Goku would pounce against Yamoshi in his base state, but to his surprise, Yamoshi with only his fists was able to stop his punch, and with a small expulsion of his power was able to make him retreat hundreds of meters.
Wow, the power you possess is amazing! So in that case, I'll use a lot more of my power.
Goku would access the Super Saiyan, but he was surprised to realize how Yamoshi would do it the same way. Both began to fight, but Yamoshi was able to dodge each of his blows with incredible ease. And then he would connect a powerful blow in the stomach, which would make him fall to the ground, creating devastation all over the battlefield.
Is that all? I thought that the Saiyan Son Goku was much more powerful.
That hurt me. But what do you think about this?
Goku would immediately begin to access the Ultra Instinct, preparing for combat, so Yamoshi with a big smile would tell him that attack both began to exchange thousands of blows throughout the battlefield. However, Goku, despite possessing the Ultra Instinct, was not able to hit Yamoshi. While receiving several of his blows with great power, instantly Goku was able to see an opening in Yamoshi's defense. But at the moment of being about to hit the lower part of his abdomen, he was surprised to observe the outstretched hand of Yamoshi.
So you're very easy to predict. By the way, I left that opening. You have completely fallen, so now feel the real power, Saiyan.
Yamoshi would throw an incredible sphere of energy, being able to cause incredible damage to Goku. But instantly the whole place would begin to change abruptly. That's right, Yamoshi would begin to access the original Ultra Instinct, so at the moment his silver-colored eyes were able to observe all over the place.
And this is the original Ultra Instinct, a power that you're not able to approach in the slightest.
Goku would be surprised while staring at him, but Yamoshi with an incredible speed would singly connect a blow to Son Goku's stomach, being able to knock him out of combat.
He really does possess incredible power, but if we want to be ready for what that damn warrior shows up, he has to become much more powerful.
4 days have passed in which Goku would be able to regain consciousness.
What happened? I feel like it's all been a dream.
You're completely wrong. I'll explain. You are my reincarnation. I've left some spiritual energy. I wanted to show you the true power of a Saiyan. From now on, you'll have to be able to become much more powerful.
Goku, before being able to ask anything, Yamoshi's body would disappear completely.
So I'm the reincarnation of that powerful warrior. For that reason, I don't remember the battle against Lord Beerus. I have to become more powerful.
Goku would immediately activate the Ultra Instinct, being able to train in a much more aggressive way. That's right, Goku's body received a lot of damage, but thanks to this, even his energy increase were much greater, since the Saiyan becomes much more powerful by damaging his body.
If I want to become much more powerful, I'll have to train with Vegeta, as I need battles that are capable of completely injuring me.
Goku would leave the Room of Time, so instantly Goku would begin to move towards the planet of the god Beerus, arriving quickly, but at the moment of arriving, he was surprised to realize how Vegeta's power had increased in an incredible way, and only in his state of Super Saiyan Blue.
Wow, even if Vegeta's not achieved any transformation, his power is incredible. I'm sure that with Vegeta, I'll be able to become much more powerful.
Wow. If it's Kakarot Bug, do you even want a new workout?
You could tell me. Lately, I've needed a punching bag, and you're perfect.
Those words irritated the Prince of the Saiyans, who at the moment pounced against Goku, in which without wasting time he also would access the Super Saiyan Blue. Beginning to exchange blows, their noises were so powerful that on this occasion, Whis and Beerus had realized that Son Goku had returned.
No matter what power Son Goku got, Vegeta's power this time is able to even give me battle in my combat form.
However, the look on Whis was very serious to know that Yamoshi, the first Saiyan Supreme God, slept in the body of Goku. We can't say for sure, we can only know waiting for everything that might happen. So in that case, how about we watch the fight?
Seems great to me, Whis. I want to witness the fruits of Vegeta's training. I'm sure you'll be able to defeat Son Goku.
Returning to the battlefield, both of them seemed to be very evenly matched. However, instantly, both of them were able to take a little distance, unleashing the maximum of their powers on the Super Saiyan Blue, starting to clash their auras.
Apparently you've become much more powerful, but it's a pity that it's not enough to stand up to me. Look at the power that you'll never be able to overcome.
Goku, at the moment, concentrating, would start walking towards Vegeta, while his hair from black began to change to an imposing silver, while his whole aura would rise up by the planet of the god Beerus, just like an incredible pressure would expand all over the place.
I can't believe the power Son Goku's been able to get. His power is even able to beat me.
I know. If Mr. Goku decided to train on his own, it must be because he had the knowledge that his power grew more by training alone than with me.
What's wrong, Vegeta? Have you not been able to master the Ultra Instinct? It doesn't matter how much power you possess. If you don't have the reaction speed, it's useless.
Vegeta, with a big smile, would raise his power, with which an incredible purple aura would rise all over the place. That's right, on this occasion, Vegeta's power was amazing, even which made Goku retreat a few meters. At the moment of dissipating that great purple energy, Prince Saiyan would be seen with his new transformation.
This is the Ultra Instinct Ego, but you haven't been able to achieve this transformation. I can tell by your amazement.
The power that Vegeta possesses is incredible, but
Goku wasn't able to finish his thought because at the moment, Vegeta, at an extremely flashing speed, was able to deliver a furtive blow to Goku's stomach, which, despite possessing the Ultra Instinct, wasn't able to do anything. Goku would be sent to a part of the planet of Beerus, destroying everything around him.
What happened? Didn't you see it coming?
damn, the blows given me caused great harm.
When Goku stood up, too much blood came coming out of his body and mouth. But Vegeta, without waiting for him to recover, had launched himself against him. Both Saiyans began to exchange thousands of blows all over the battlefield. However, to the bad luck of the entire Universe 7, the imposing warrior was able to locate the essence of Yamoshi. So with his dimensional change, he was able to reach the planet of Beerus, observing the entire planet.
Maybe that's Yamoshi's reincarnation. His power is pathetic. Even an ordinary Saiyan's able to cope with him. That pathetic.
The battle of both Saiyans would begin to lead to the most intense point, because the damage that Vegeta had caused to Goku was serious. However, instantly an incredible presence would become present at the top of the entire planet, and that presence would be felt by the most powerful beings of all the 12 universes. An incredible power had been released in Universe 7, specifically on the planet of Beerus. Said power was even able to make all the deities, including gods and angels, fall to their knees. The ones who were able to withstand that incredible pressure were the beings of the kingdom of the whole. And no matter how surprising Goku, however, it would be difficult for him to stand, since each of his bones were destroyed by the pressure. Instantly, an opposing warrior would appear in front of Goku, staring at him. Goku was not able to do anything because a lot of pressure had him paralyzed.
What the hell? Despite having the Ultra Instinct activated, I'm not able to move any of my fingers. What the hell is this pressure?
The warrior at the moment was able to open his mouth, from which he would throw an incredible attack. But to Goku's body, to feel the adrenaline of dying, he was able to hit by a simple impulse, managing to give him a blow on the chin, which would generate the great attack, because the great devastation, the top of the planet of Beerus.
Well, I could tell you were able to move when you felt your death approaching, but it's a pity that won't happen again.
Goku was able to notice how Beerus, Vegeta, and Whis were about to die, due to the great pressure that this was releasing. Create a barrier, but in front of Goku, that warrior would start to beat him.
You better worry about yourself, because no matter what you do, all the beings of divine energy will accompany you to the other world.
The blows of the warrior were capable of causing great damage to his body and spirit. That's right, the blows of that warrior even possessed spiritual energy, with which he was able to cause incredible damage. Goku, no matter how much he tried to defend himself, it was in vain. The warrior was able to even beat him all over Universe 7, destroying thousands of planets through the beating. Rays of Calamity. Thousands of Crimson Rays would collide with Goku's entire body, which managed to get Goku to return to his base state. So before falling, the subject would take him tightly by the neck, being able to make him crash into hundreds of debris to the end of the Great Kick, send him to the planet of Beerus, destroying everything in his path. You're a disappointment. Yamoshi's reincarnation isn't even good for a warm-up. I thought his reincarnation would be a worthy opponent. Damn it. I knew that this warrior was coming in search of Yamoshi, but Mr. Goku has not been able to awaken all the incredible power. This will be our end. That subject would begin to approach Goku while everything on his back, the complete underworld, would form. That's right, hundreds of chains of darkness. They tried to tie Goku's soul, which would begin to give loud screams all over the planet, since they were extracting his divine soul as well as his essence. If I'm able to get hold of your power, it would be easy to jump to other megaverse, which are said to not exist. Instantly, the subject would be able to fly to a few mountains. That's right, on this occasion, Daishinkan along with Zeno-sama had appeared on the battlefield. Angelic Protection, level 10. An incredible energy barrier was able to protect all the warriors present. So at the moment, Whis would start healing all of the warriors. Meanwhile, on the spot, an incredible red aura would rise all over the place. Oh, wow. That wasn't bad at all, Daishinkan. But after billions of years, only that's the pathetic power you've got? Heh, you're still a piece of trash.
Daishinkan, I want you to fight with him with all your power. I thought I'd be able to eliminate it with my current power, but that'll be impossible for me. I plan to merge with my guardians to create the king of the definitive everything.
Nagumo, I don't know why the hell you're doing this. You and Yamoshi and I were war brothers in the past. Even we thought that you died. Damn worm, you guys fanned me. I was cornered by 5 gods of death. I was able to finish 3 of them off, but where were you guys? They were traitors. In that great battle millions of years ago, you, better than anyone, that the power of our enemies was overwhelming. When we came to your aid, we weren't able to locate your body. So unfortunately, we left you for dead. Unfortunately, they left me for dead. And I thought that we were war brothers. But apparently I was just another pawn on their board. But I came back for revenge. I could see that. But I don't plan on letting you cause more damage. At the moment, both began to exchange millions of blows throughout the battlefield. Their battle within seconds of starting was able to cause incredible destruction by all 12 universe planets, and living beings were completely destroyed. While on the other hand, Zeno-sama had been able to reunite with his guardians, beginning to channel his power through them to reform a single warrior. An incredible light would begin to let an opposing subject be observed, while his divinity was amazing. I can't believe this! That guy was able to fight on the side of my father and Yamoshi. That's why he wants to eradicate Mr. Goku, since he's the reincarnation of the god of Yamoshi. What are you doing, Whis? What does it mean that Son Goku is the reincarnation of the powerful god Yamoshi? It said that the god Yamoshi is the warrior who has no limits of power. Indeed, sir. I was even able to talk to Yamoshi, only that Mr. Goku's not able to master his power completely. For that reason, he's not able to grant access to his great reserves of energy that Yamoshi possessed. But damn it, if we're not able to make Kakarot wake up, then master that power, that miserable bastard will finish with us. No, Vegeta, we still have the powers of the entire universe. The mighty Zeno-sama and Daishinkan-sama will fight together to finish off that damn warrior. Let's hope everything goes well, Mr. Beerus, since in that battle both you having my father as being completely outclassed. And an incredible flash would depart from the planet, coming from the battle at a great speed, throwing a big blow. But to his surprise, Nagumo was able to dodge about a few millimeters. Zeno-sama's blow would destroy everything in its path. So this battle will be 2 versus 1. That interests me. I've never been afraid of the numerical disadvantage. It's I'll be able to break their prides completely.
You better be ready to visit the god of death, since I have no plans to let the bastard like you continue breathing in the universes of which I'm the king.
Instantly, the trio of warriors would start an incredible battle which would extend to a far level beyond the divine, since each of their fists were capable of creating universes as well as destroying them. By colliding different energies, these irregularities were caused. On the other hand, returning with Goku, he was still out of combat, but in all his unconscious, the figure of the incredible god Yamoshi would be observed, which at this moment was furious.
Damn Nagumo, I personally took the time to look for every trace of your existence, and you dare to say that we did nothing for you? Kakarot, you're my reincarnation. I grant you 100% of all my power. I trust you.
Yamoshi at that moment would access the Super Saiyan, with which he was able to create a new flow of energy in Kakarot's body. Yamoshi, without stopping, instantly loud screams would be heard in Yamoshi's spiritual space, which would begin to destroy everything around him. While accessing the original Ultra Instinct, that's right, Yamoshi would use 100% of all his power, so that Goku's body is able to assimilate it by being inside.
And this is the power beyond the gods. I would personally like to beat up Nagumo's worm, but I would no longer belong to the world of the living.
The whole energy system of Goku would begin to spin around in an incredible way. That's right, since there was a new energy path, and this being the power of the god Yamoshi, everything would begin to unite with the energy flow of Goku. While outside, Goku was able to stand up, however his gaze was gloomy, since he had not been able to say any words, so instantly Whis would approach to check if everything was fine. But in incredible terror, he felt when I observed the red face that he looked on.
What was that feeling? I felt like my whole body was completely destroyed.
Instantly, Goku was able to get out of the Daishinkan barrier. That's right, he was able to destroy it without any difficulty. But at the moment that the pressure was about to fall on everyone else, Goku would expel an incredible power, while instantly a new barrier was able to protect them, and likewise help heal their internal wounds. On the other hand, Goku's power began to rise in an incredible way, although he was still no match for Nagumo. Even his power still did not approach the power of a priest, but as he raised his power was surprising. After a few minutes, Goku's power continued to rise, so much so that this time he was able to surpass even Zeno-sama's power, which would attract Nagumo's attention since an ordinary body should already explode.
Apparently that Saiyan's power is much more powerful than yours, and he's finally been able to unlock the hidden Yamoshi's power.
Zeno and Daishinkan at the moment rushed against him, but Nagumo, with a great beam of energy, was able to send them to fall towards a planet, with their bodies completely destroyed. Nagumo, at an amazing speed, would approach Goku, but at that moment, an incredible roar was able to completely drive him away. That's right, Goku hadn't been able to access his maximum power, so from a great light, a completely different Goku could be observed, since all over his body you could see the marks of the Omni-Supreme God Yamoshi. This state had only been used once.
Wow, you amaze me. A few hours ago you were a good-for-nothing bug, but right now your power's risen in an amazing way. Now I gotta know who I really am, and that the mission of my existence. But first, I have to put an end to the ghosts of the past.
Goku at a great speed would put in front of Nagumo, who was also surprised, because with the speed with which he had moved was amazing.
You still have great speed, but you're nothing to be able to hit me, and that you won't be able to help out at all, since my power is still higher than yours.
Nagumo and Goku at the moment held hands, so they began to use pure physical force. That's right, the collisions of their powers were incredible. A clear winner could not be observed, but at the moment, both began to exchange thousands of blows. The speed of the current battle even exceeded that of Zeno and Daishinkan.
Damn it, from that wretch from Nagumo, we were never worthy opponents. That wretch had won and he'd been able to finish us off.
Whis, with the help of his staff, was able to get Daishinkan and Zeno enter the barrier which had created by Goku, being able to begin to recover his energy and heal each of his wounds. The battle of both seemed very even. However, both warriors were only testing their opponents. Although the disadvantage was Goku, because being the first time to use that power, the wear on his body was incredible, as all his muscles were torn by not being able to control all the power completely.
Rain of stellar dates!
Hundreds of golden energy arrows had been directed towards Goku, who with an incredible agility was able to dodge each of the arrows, while he began to approach, being at a prudent distance. He was able to open his mouth, which at the moment looked like the muzzle of a beast, since on his back the silhouette of an incredible Ozaru would become present. Supreme Celestial Roar! The incredible roar was able to generate incredible damage to Nagumo's entire body, because he had been able to completely impact it. However, Goku's body had suffered incredible damage since the Supreme Celestial Roar was one of Yamoshi's most powerful abilities, and his body wasn't able to completely assimilate it. I have to finish this miserable worm fast. I feel like my body's about to collapse. If I fall here, all my friends will die. Damn bug, you've destroyed a big part of my body. I'm not planning to let that disrespect pass. Nagumo, with his great power, was able to heal himself completely, so both of them started with their amazing battle again. However, this time, the power of both of them would start to decrease in a big way. It's time. Nagumo's power would start to drop to incredible levels. We have to be able to beat him. Both beings would come out of the barrier that Goku had placed, but the simple pressure of the battle was able to make them fall to the ground, expelling large amounts of blood. Damn it. What the hell is this pressure? I never thought that a being who does not possess any trace of divine energy is capable of reaching this limit. No, damn. Even though it's hard for me to admit it, I have to retreat from this battlefield. The roar from earlier was able to hurt me in an incredible way. Nagumo, using a large part of his power, was able to multiply his speed hundreds of times. However, the cost of this ability was the tearing of all his muscles. So the pain was immense, but Nagumo was able to connect a blow that destroyed everything around him, just like it would knock out Goku. I don't have the required power to finish you right now, but after all, if you're Yamoshi's reincarnation, the next time I see you, I'll finish you. Nagumo would create a great portal of negative energy, being able to leave, so the instant he disappeared, a big explosion would be generated all over the place. The destruction caused in the 12 universes had been at stratospheric levels, because millions of lives had paid for such devastation. Among all the 12 universes, only one planet had been able to remain intact. That's right, planet Earth had been protected by an incredible Goku barrier. However, instantly that Goku was knocked out, the barriers had completely disappeared. However, the battle had come to an end, so Daishenka would rise to the top of all the 12 universes with the intention of using all his celestial energy to bring to life all the fallen beings. No, Daishenkin, even I, who am the king of everything and have to watch over the safety of the 12 universes, I know that in this moment, it's impossible. We have to end Nagumo's life so that all the 12 universes find peace.
But my lord, if we're not able to bring them to life in less than 24 hours, only the great god Zama will be able to do something.
It is something that we must accept, because if we bring them to life in the next battle, they will die again, since even the gods and angels looked useless before the great power. Zeno-sama would instantly return to his base state, with which he would spit out large amounts of blood, since he had used the power beyond a king at all. However, instantly a great aura would rise all over the place. That's right, Goku's body would begin to expel an amazing power again. But instantly his entire body would be impacted by hundreds of rays, which began to cause incredible damage, which would even cause him to expel too much blood all over his body. Father, what's happening to Mr. Goku? What are these rays due to?
I don't really even know, Whis. Mr. Goku, since the Tournament of Powers, seemed to have an amazing power. But I'm not able to understand what's wrong with him.
Father, I have something to tell you, Mr. Goku. He's the reincarnation of the powerful god Yamoshi. Since I've been able to speak with his divine essence, he manifested himself before me. Daishenka was surprised to know that Son Goku was the reincarnation of the powerful god Yamoshi. However, at the moment, the screams of Goku would take them all out of thoughts, since his screams were chilling. Just like that, at the moment, too much blood expelled from his entire body. But to everyone's surprise, an Ozaru would be represented throughout Universe 7, but this Ozaru was a green color, while only the essence of divine he gave off was completely overwhelming.
Long time without seeing you, Daishenkin. Zeno, I have left my last spiritual energy in my Ozaru, since 100% of my power I've given to Son Goku. They've been able to end Nagumo's life, since he's been corrupted by very powerful negative energy. And although we have been war brothers, we have to protect the universes. So after all, You were alive, Yamoshi. You don't know how glad I am to know that. But the power of Nagumo.
This will be something complicated, since Nagumo's power is even capable of surpassing us all with ease. We can only rely on the power of reincarnation.
You'll be able to beat Nagumo. He just must be able to adapt to the limited power I've been able to grant him. It's the only way.
Yamoshi's spiritual energy would spread completely, while at that instant, some energy spheres began to enter Goku's entire body, which had been completely knocked out. Meanwhile, in a castle far away from the 12 universes, a great barrier would be placed by Nagumo, and instantly, he would vomit large amounts of blood, because the excess energy he had used compromised too many energy veins, which for a being who had not suffered damage in millions of years was amazing.
Ugh, damn it. I shouldn't have trusted myself with Yamoshi's damn reincarnation. But this won't stay that way. I'm planning to annihilate all of the Siri that get in the way.
Nagumo, at that moment, he was able to take out 2 energy swords.
I summon you. Demonic sword, come to me, and cut off the celestial energy of that cursed.
But at the moment, both swords began to unite into one, so they had immediately disappeared. But at that moment, a gigantic sword would begin to descend all over the place. So it would instantly hit Nagumo completely, destroying everything around him, as well as eliminating the celestial energy that Goku had been able to leave inside. Nagumo had lost both of his limbs, but the celestial energy had given way to his entire body.
Duh! That hurt me too much. That damn Yamoshi forced me to use my demonic sword to be able to wipe out all the celestial energy.
Nagumo would immediately fall to a rock, while a lot of blood would be scattered all over the place that passed. Nagumo would instantly be knocked out of combat, while his cells began to regenerate all the damage that the sword had caused him. Returning to the planet of Beerus, the deities of that kingdom of everything were about to leave, so instantly Daishaken with a very serious look would observe them all.
You should train, since we should not always depend on the power of the legendary god Yamoshi, since if some occasion he's not here, we'll all be eradicated.
The beings of the kingdom of everything had completely disappeared, while Vegeta was upset, having been overcome by Kakarot in an incredible way. And despite having achieved a new transformation, it hadn't been enough to do something against that enemy.
Damn it. We have to increase our powers one way or another, because otherwise, if that guy has allies, they'll finish us off.
I completely agree with you, Mr. Beerus. It would be better to start training again, so that we will not be a nuisance at the time of battle. The trio of warriors would begin with a new rigorous training, while Son Goku was still out of combat. But despite this being out of combat, his power continued to grow as his entire body began to assimilate the power of the legendary god Yamoshi. Meanwhile, in the kingdom of the whole, Daishaken, like Zeno-sama, had made the decision to use the legendary forbidden rooms.
My lord, I know that we're on high alert, but are you sure you'll be able to withstand the pressure of the forbidden rooms? It said that only the creator god and the mighty god Yamoshi have been able to withstand the pressure.
If there is someone who's able to endure them, we'll also do it. And if there has been no warrior capable of enduring it, we will be the first.
Your words have served me well, my king, and I'm ready to push my limits once more.
Both warriors prostrated themselves in front of a large door, which the instant it began to open, an incredible pressure would be released all over the place. That pressure was able to make Daishaken kneel, since it had been overwhelming. However, Zeno-sama at the moment was able to channel a little of the energy of the king of the whole in Daishaken's body.
I've been able to transmit a little of my energy to you. With that, it should be enough for you to be able to master all the pressure.
My lord, I don't know how you're able to withstand this pressure, but if I want to remain your priest, I have to endure this pressure. I'm prepared.
The great door would be closed, so instantly the real hell would begin. Since staying in that place, he was able to create powerful warriors or end the lives of the subjects who had entered. The first thing both deities did was to completely master their energy, to be able to move much more freely. On the other hand, returning to the Nagumo castle, this had been able to recover completely. Or that was what it seemed, because when he got to his feet, a large sip of blood had come out of his mouth.
Damn. Been able to fully recover physically, but inside it's still very compromised. I have to rest for a while more.
Nagumo would leave a part of his palace in which he would start meditating again to accelerate his metabolism, thus to be able to recover in a much more efficient way. Meanwhile, returning to the planet of Beerus for the third time, a great aura had risen to the sky, but this time, the scattered rays did not cause any havoc to any warrior or the planet. So at the moment, Goku opened his eyes.
My head hurts too much, but I feel like my whole body exudes incredible power. I don't know what I should do. I feel like I'm even about to explode.
Mr. Goku, if what you inform me is correct, you must transform or at least access the Ultra Instinct, since your base state is not able to contain all your current power. Goku would listen to Whis, so a silver aura would rise all over the planet. That's right, Goku had accessed the Ultra Instinct maximum power without any difficulty.
Please, Whis, explain to me what happened. I absolutely understand nothing.
Whis, with his staff, was able to show him everything that had happened against Nagumo, and as Goku had been able to access a new transformation, with which he was even able to overcome the deities of the Kingdom of the Whole.
Goku, you're the reincarnation of the mighty god Yamoshi. So, at this moment, only you're able to do something against that miserable. Kakarot, you have been blessed since your birth, apparently. Well, that doesn't interest me, since I will be able to surpass you. Don't forget.
At that moment, Vegeta's power would also rise in an incredible way. That's right, Vegeta had access to the Ultra Ego maximum power, with which he would observe Goku.
I promise, in the future, I'll be able to beat you, damn insect.
They have left me surprised by everything, but that's happened in this short period of time. But of course I will strive, and Vegeta, I already want to fight with you again.
Goku at the moment, he would expel all his power, with which all the 12 universes would begin to tremble, since the power that Goku had released was a bestiality. However, at the moment, Goku would be able to access the state of Omni-God Saiyan.
This is the power that Yamoshi had granted me, but I have to tell him that I'm able to take him to a new state, since I'm much better than he is.
Goku would immediately return to the base state so that he would start going through each of his transformations, which had left him surprised to Whis.
What is Mr. Goku supposed to be doing? If even in his state of Ultra Instinct, even his body has problems with excess energy. If he continues like this, he'll explode.
No, Whis. Kakarot knows perfectly well what he's doing, since he's not stupid at all. So this must be something he discovered recently.
Goku's power would begin to rise in a surprising way, so much so that this time all his power, he was able to cause destruction all over the place. The instant he reached Super Saiyan 3, he would tear off his clothes. So like all his hair, he would begin to turn a silver color, similar to the Ultra Instinct, but from a big explosion all over the place, Goku was able to access a new state, from which even Yamoshi hadn't been able to wake up. That's right, Goku had taken his power to a level beyond of a true king of the whole. Even Goku at this time could be considered an omnipotent being. His fur all over his silver-colored body made him look like a being who is completely on top of all other races.
This is the power of the Ultra Super Saiyan God. The power that I've been able to combine using 100% of all my power and 100% of all Yamoshi's power.
The deities of Universe 7 were amazed to feel all the incredible power that Goku was able to release.
Goku, I'm sure that with all your power, you'll be able to defeat that bastard, and will bring peace to all the 12 universes.
Mr. Goku has left me very surprised of the authentic power that you've been able to master. You're even able to surpass the powerful god Yamoshi.
Damn insect. Although it's hard for me to admit it, you've been able to completely overcome me.
Meanwhile, at Nagumo Castle, he was able to feel the pressure of an omnipotent being, which made him panic.
What the hell?
You're the damn brat's been able to access the state that Yamoshi and I have always longed for.
But instantly, from the whole sky of the palace, an interstellar storm was able to collide with Nagumo's entire body. That's right, a gigantic power was able to knock him out of combat, but if he was able to withstand it, he would still be able to access said state.
If the Creator God is able to create Yamoshi, and Yamoshi was able to create that damn brat, I will likewise grant some omnipotent energy to Nagumo.
Returning to the planet of Beerus, Goku would begin to approach Vegeta, putting his hand on Vegeta's shoulder.
You're an amazing warrior, Vegeta. I'm sure that your body and Saiyan pride will be able to withstand this and more.
Vegeta, a little confused, wasn't able to react, because in that instant, Goku was a quick movement, was able to pass through Vegeta, holding his heart without taking it out of his chest. The deities were surprised.
Damn, you betray us!
I know you'll be able to withstand it, Vegeta.
Goku was able to emanate an incredible power all over Vegeta's heart, with which his power would immediately begin to increase in a supernatural way. That's right, the Prince of the Saiyans was also able to access the same transformation as Goku. But of course with a few variations, since Goku's power would be legitimate, unlike Vegeta's power. However, the power he released was incredible. That's right, Vegeta was able to withstand all that incredible pain accessing the powerful celestial Super Saiyan. 70 million years ago, there was an unimaginable void without any life, when suddenly emerged a being which didn't know it was himself where he was.
What's going on? What am I? I can't see anything. What is this immense void?
What he didn't know was, until that moment, was that he was an omnipotent being who was going to create everything known as the universe. He would even create a whole multiverse full of different types of life in order to find at some point an individual who could match or surpass the strength of his son called Zeno-sama. In Zeno-sama's palace, 30 million years after the birth of Zeno-sama's father, he introduces himself to his son.
Zeno-sama, my son. You've grown strong and apparently you've become very powerful over the centuries.
Father, I've always felt that my existence has no purpose. I often get bored. Why did you bring me to life to be bored?
70 million years ago, there was a void from which I was created. As I grew, I developed powers and immeasurable strength. As a result of that, a need was born in me to find a being who could match or surpass your strength, to even equal my own greatness. That's why I created planets, galaxies, universes, and living beings of various species.
All this was created just so that I could exist?
Yes, my son. Every star, every life form, everything has a purpose. To prepare you to be the supreme god of all that I've created. You're the main reason for all my creation.
It's a heavy burden, Father. Why me?
Because in you, I see the true potential to rule in this vast cosmos. You are the hope to maintain harmony among the creations that have sprung from my being. You are the missing piece in this cosmic chest.
Father, all this that you tell me is an enormous responsibility. I don't know if I'm ready to be able to do it. What if I fail?
There is no failure, son. Your very existence is success. Every moment in your life has molded you into the supreme being that you are. I trust you will fulfill your destiny.
What about you, Father? What role do you play in all this?
My role is to guide you from the shadows, to watch you fulfill your purpose. Finding balance in the universe is a task that requires your leadership. I'll be here, in the darkness, watching you carry out the mission I have given you.
I understand, Father. Leave everything in my hands.
Thus passed centuries, millennia, in which Zeno-sama was guided by his father to govern the immense multiverse he had created for him, but now convinced of the purpose he had in his life. In the present time, 30 million years after the conversation that Zeno-sama and his father had, in one of the universes created by Father Zeno, on a planet called Earth, Kakarot and Vegeta were training together with Whis and Beerus after having faced very powerful beings. While they were training, the Earth was illuminated by flashes of energy. As Kakarot and Vegeta embark on intense training, Whis and Beerus watch from a distance, assessing the Saiyans' every move as they prepare to rise in their skills.
Hey, Vegeta! Remember when we first faced Frieza? That guy was incredibly strong.
Yes, Kakarot. It was our first encounter with an enemy of another level. But we cannot forget the Cell Bug, that creature with cells from all of us. He put us in big trouble with his martial arts tournament. Luckily, your son became strong.
Both Saiyans exchanged energy blasts. Each hit and dodge was an echo of their long history of battles.
Ah, yes! The first time you showed the teleportation technique. That was amazing! Thanks to Gohan, we were able to defeat him.
But then came Majin Buu. That battle was unforgettable. We had to merge to have a chance.
The fusion was great, but we also learned about redemption and kindness at that time. Buu became good because of you.
As they continue their training, the energy of both Saiyans light up the space. Whis and Beerus watch with interest.
Yes, but don't forget about Beerus. That god of destruction who almost wiped out the Earth with a single sneeze. Although in the end, he turned out to be more of a joker than we thought.
Yes, I remember when I tried to fight him in my Super Saiyan 3 form. I wasn't at his level, but at least I gave him a fight in my Super Saiyan God form, and that was possible thanks to all of you.
That's right. And now we're here, training with Whis and Beerus. We cannot let our guard down, Kakarot. There'll always be bigger challenges.
Exactly! Every fight makes us stronger. Let's keep training and bettering ourselves.
Of course. We're always one step closer to being the strongest warriors in the universe.
The training continues as Kakarot and Vegeta, under the tutelage of Whis and Beerus, strive to reach new levels of power in order to defend the Earth from new and more powerful enemies that may appear with the desire to destroy the planet that welcomed them. While Kakarot and Vegeta were training to overcome their limits, Whis and Beerus encouraged them to keep improving. Very good, Saiyans. Keep it up.
Yes, they're very strong, but I don't know if that'll be enough to keep my interest.
Suddenly, they feel a dark presence and the whole environment begins to become dark. And a dark, powerful presence fills the place.
What's going on, Mr. Whis?
Something's not right. I feel an extremely powerful and dark presence.
That feeling sounds familiar. Who could it be?
The darkness intensifies and suddenly an opposing figure appears in front of them like a shadowy nebula.
Inhabitants of the multiverse, have you missed me? Hello, dear inhabitants of the multiverse. I've come to observe progress of my creations.
What? Who is this guy?
I don't know, Kakarot, but his presence is overwhelming.
No way.
What?
The figure lingers in a shadowy haze, with the speaker being the father of Zeno-sama, the omnipotent being who created the multiverse. This one appears in all multiverse, where all the warriors were training for future problems.
This guy is the father of Zeno-sama, the creator of everything we know of universes beyond our imagination. I didn't think we'd ever see him.
Sir, your arrival is unexpected. Forgive the insolence, but to what do we owe you presents? The inclination of Whis and all the angels of different universes is because they have knowledge of who was the father of Zeno-sama. For that reason, they have a great fear and respect for him.
I see you've been busy, warriors. You have faced great obstacles throughout your insignificant lives, but this time has come. Are you strong enough?
We're always up for a good challenge.
Shut up, Kakarot. Don't you feel how powerful he is? How can you say that? Haven't you noticed something missing in the multiverse?
At that moment, Zeno-sama's father set out to tell them the reason for the ambiguous question. Moments before Zeno's father appeared before the whole multiverse, he was very angry because when he woke up from the dream of millions of years, he was surprised that many things had happened that went against the main reason why he created the whole universe. Because of this, he appears before his son Zeno-sama. In the center of the realm of everything, the overwhelming presence of Zeno-sama's father eclipses space. His voice booms like thunder as he directs his fury towards his son Zeno-sama. The latter, visibly nervous, tries to defend himself as the tension between the two intensifies.
Zeno-sama, you failed in your duty as Supreme God. All the warriors of the multiverse have overstepped their bounds and now dare to call themselves gods. Gods? This is unacceptable!
Father, I understand that this is all being misunderstood, but...
There's no excuses, Zeno-sama. Your lack of authority has allowed inferior beings to rise above us. How dare you let them usurp the title of gods?
I'm sorry, Father. I did not intend for things to come to this point.
The anger in Father Zeno's voice increases. His tone becomes more defiant and contemptuous.
Your intention? Your weakness has sullied the name of our divinity. The only god here is me, and no one else should dare to call himself that. No one!
Father, I understand that I'm in your debt, but we can find another way to restore order.
Father Zeno's response is an explosion of contempt and fury.
You do not deserve the title of god at all. Your weakness has tainted my creation. Because of your incompetence, I must restore the balance, even if it means getting rid of you.
What? Father, please don't do it! There's so much I can still learn and improve! I can fix all of this!
Zeno-sama's imploration is lost in Father Zeno's cold determination.
It is already too late, Zeno. Weakness must be eradicated from existence for true power to prevail.
In an instant, Zeno-sama's father unleashes a blast of devastating energy that engulfs Zeno-sama and begins to tear him to shreds as he screams in pain.
No, Father, please! Ah!
Order has been restored. No one else will dare to challenge my supremacy. I will now take it upon myself to re-establish balance through my creation.
In the present day, in front of the terrified warriors, due to what Zeno-sama's father had informed them what had happened to his son Zeno-sama, a being they all adored and feared.
You insignificant beings now understand. Because of this, I will destroy all the timelines and universes that exist. I am a divine being, omnipotent, and I can do it. But I will give you a chance to fight for your lives. So I'll organize a tournament in which the strongest warriors of the entire multiverse will participate so that the power will prevail.
Earth 2024.
What?
This can't be true.
Do you think we can face something like that, Mr. Piccolo?
Oh? We'll have to train a lot physically and, above all, mentally.
The idea of a tournament piques his interest, seeing the opportunity to test his own power and perhaps become even stronger. Thraxis Nocturne. Planet sunk in the shadows.
A tournament, eh? Well, I'll show that true power is not limited to divine beings.
I won't let them destroy our future. I will fight in that tournament and protect my own.
A tournament with the strongest warriors, huh? It'll be my chance to show that the Saiyans are not insignificant beings. We will see who is truly divine in this tournament. My empire will prevail.
A competition between the strongest. Interesting. I was showed that the Metacoolers are superior in all universes.
Nigerian, a world with perpetually cloudy skies where storms of dark energy lash the surface.
Father, this tournament will be the perfect occasion to show you that my power surpasses yours. Perfect. I'll show my true power and wreak havoc in every corner of the multiverse. Destruction in a tournament. What a magnificent combination. I will be the ultimate warrior and subdue all under my rule. Let's fight. This tournament will be my stage to demonstrate the power I've obtained.
Dracoria, homeworld of the humanoid dragon warriors and the descendants.
The threat of destruction is overwhelming. My fire may not be enough to face its dark omnipotence.
A shadow that threatens to destroy everything. My ability to manipulate the darkness may not be enough. Even with my swordsmanship, facing an omnipotent divine being will be an unparalleled challenge. This divine being has the power to destroy everything I love. My fire will be my defense.
A divine threat. My control over thunderstorms will be enough. This will be a challenge like never before.
After seeing the various emotions and thoughts of the main participants of the tournament, Zeno-sama's father begins to explain the rules of this supposed tournament.
Minimal beings. The rules are simple. The tournament will be to the death. It'll be held in a timeless space where the laws of time and physics are temporarily suspended. The only way to eliminate an opponent is to make his heart stop. That is by killing him. There's no other way. In this tournament, it is either you or your rival. There's no limits on the use of skills. You must unleash your full potential without restriction, so as not to be destroyed in the process. I'll be the one who will watch over the whole process. The participant who wins will have the joy of facing me, putting his life and the life of his universe at stake. But I'm a PS deity, and I will bring him the opportunity to have a divine power similar to mine for a determined time. If he does not take the advantage of it, he will have to accept the consequences.
In spite of the uncertainty that the warriors have in front of what the father of Zeno-sama has said, some are excited and others are worried.
Wow, this sounds exciting! A tournament with fighters from all universes. It's gonna be great!
Why should we trust this tournament to be fair? By killing them?
So I can fight to the best of my ability. But killing beings that are just fighting for their lives is not nice.
I hope everything I've said has been clear to everyone. The only rule is that you have to kill your opponent so that they don't kill you. I want to make that clear. You will have to kill your opponent. The way we will check if you're worthy of calling yourselves gods.
Father Zeno disappears and everything returns to normal. You can see Kakarot's excited about the new enemy that is seen. It is very powerful. Vegeta, scared and worried about his family, angry with Kakarot. Wow, that guy's incredibly strong. I'm excited to fight him in the next tournament. Excited? Do you realize what's at stake, Kakarot? The enemy is dangerous, and we can't just underestimate him. But Vegeta, that guy has awesome power. It's gonna be the best fight of our lives. This is not a game, Kakarot. Do you realize that we're putting our families and the entire universe at risk? I know it's serious, Vegeta, but it's also a chance to get better. Besides, Zeno-sama's father is excited about this. I can't believe you're so carefree. My family's in danger and you're excited about a fight. I'm not saying I'm not serious, Vegeta, but when an opportunity presents itself to measure our power, I can't resist. You always think about the fight, don't you? Sometimes I wish you had a little more responsibility. Vegeta, I understand that you're worried about Bulma and Trunks, but trust that we can protect them. I don't like the idea of someone else deciding about our lives. I understand, Vegeta, but do you really think we can ignore this opportunity? I'm not going to lose my family over a fight, but I also know that I can't stop you from getting excited about the battle. At that moment, the tension between Kakarot and Vegeta is palpable as they prepare to face the new enemy. While Kakarot is filled with excitement for the fight, Vegeta faces the situation with a mixture of fear and determination. Thus, the training of the entire multiverse for their survival of their species began. From the moment on, the most powerful warriors of all the universes began to train with greater intensity in order to save their universes and timelines. After having communicated with the entire multiverse from the realm of everything, the father of Zeno-sama would observe everything from a crystal screen, that the warriors were getting stronger and stronger. He sent his shadow warriors to slow down the process of them. But what is this feeling that stirs my supreme being? A mixture of fascination and disdain. It's inevitable that mortals yearn for more, that they aspire to surpass their boundaries. Yet some of these warriors are reaching levels I cannot allow. Their power threatens the balance I've established. It's enough that they're mere participants in my tournament. They must be contained. They must be eliminated before their ascensions endanger the stability of my creation. My shadow warriors, creatures of the shadow and executioners of my will travel throughout all the universes. They'll be my instruments to stop these reckless advances. I will not allow the power of these warriors to grow beyond the limits set by my divinity. Father Zeno, we're here to receive your orders. Shadow creatures, my loyal enforcers, the time has come. The universes pulsate with an energy that threatens to destabilize the order I've established. Mortal warriors, in their relentless pursuit of power, are rising to dangerous heights. Their progress must be halted. Your orders are our will. How do you wish us to proceed? Each of you will disperse among the universes. Your mission is to find those warriors who dare to exceed the limits imposed. There's no room for compassion. The threat must be eradicated. Annihilate them without mercy. We will, Father Zeno. No warrior will be strong enough to defy your will. The shadow creatures set off to every universe and timeline to destroy every warrior who would participate. Along the way, they encountered weak warriors who they destroyed with these strong and very powerful ones. It was dusk when suddenly the Earth's atmosphere trembled with an unnatural darkness. In the blink of an eye, shadow creatures emerged from the interdimensional shadows, ethereal and menacing beings that would challenge even the strength of the mightiest warriors. Kakarot and Vegeta, training on the vast battlefield of Earth, sensed the arrival of an ominous presence. Shadow creatures, their ethereal forms and eyes burning with the intensity of darkness, materialized before them. What are you? We are servants of Father Zeno. Your progress has been noted and must be halted. The will of Father Zeno is the supreme law. The warriors have exceeded the allowable limits and will now be destroyed. The shadow creatures moved with an agility that defied logic, leaving behind them trails of darkness. Kakarot and Vegeta prepared for the confrontation, their energies flashing in response to the threatening presence. Well, it looks like we have new opponents. This should be interesting. No matter who sends them, we'll not allow them to stop our progress. The shadow creatures, speechless, rushed towards Kakarot and Vegeta with flashing speed. The battle ahead would not only be a test of strength, but a struggle between light and darkness, between the determination of the warriors and the will of the father of Zeno-sama. The battle rages and the environment, plants, stones, the sky are witness to the incredible demonstration of power. Kakarot and Vegeta, deploying a great amount of ki, are in the center ready to face the two mysterious Shadow Warriors that attack them. Shadow Creature 1 moves at breakneck speed, leaving only flashes of darkness in its wake. Its form is ethereal, almost impossible to follow with the eye. It attacks with incredible precision, throwing punches and kicks that defy the perception of time. Shadow Creature 2 stands out for its devastating power. Its every strike sends out waves of dark energy that distort the surrounding space. Its presence emanates an ominous aura that shakes even the particles of space. The fight begins with Kakarot and Vegeta charging forward, but the Shadow Creatures respond with astonishing agility, dodging every blow and counterattacking with almost invisible movements. Faced with the speed of the Shadow Warriors, Kakarot and Vegeta are forced to raise their power to Super Saiyan level. Vegeta, these guys are incredibly fast. I can't even keep up with their moves.
Looks like our usual speed isn't enough. We'll have to raise our power to the maximum.
Both Saiyans concentrate, their golden auras bursting as they transform into Super Saiyan. Their golden hair lights up the space as they launch into a fierce offensive. But the Shadow Warriors remain equally agile, gracefully dodging the attacks. The intensity of the power illuminates the space. Now Vegeta, let's go all out!
Let's go, Kakarot!
The Saiyans rush towards these Shadow Warriors with a fierce offensive. However, the Shadow Creatures dodge their attacks with surprising grace, moving through the energy blast with ease.
Is that the best you can do, Saiyans?
Their speed is admirable, but they're still not up to par. Damn it! It can't go on like this, Kakarot. We need something else.
You're right, Vegeta. Let's take this to the next level.
Faced with persistent speed of the Shadow Warriors, Kakarot and Vegeta rise their power even higher, transforming into Super Saiyan Blue. Their blue auras flash with intensity and the pressure of their power shakes the surrounding space. However, the Shadow Warriors are not daunted. The battle reaches its peak as the four warriors are engulfed in a frenzy of energy. Kakarot launches his attack called Kamehameha, and Vegeta launches his final flash attack, but the Shadow Warriors respond with counterattacks that defy the laws of physics. Then the clash of these powerful attacks causes an immense explosion. At the precise moment that both Saiyan warriors, the Shadow Creatures, collided their attacks, the explosion resulting from the collision of the attacks left a crater on the battlefield, while a dense smoke obscured the view. Amidst the haze, Goku with a serious but confident expression, and Vegeta, also with a confident expression of having destroyed the Shadow Creatures with his attacks, stood on guard, ready to face whatever emerged from this smoke. Suddenly, as soon as the smoke dissipated from the battlefield, the shadowy creatures emerged unharmed, floating in the air with an even more intense presence. Their forms twisted, revealing an even darker and more powerful transformation. Now with eyes glowing with a more intense light, the Shadow Creatures uttered a great malevolent laugh and moved towards Goku and Vegeta with renowned ferocity. The sky was covered with dark clouds and lightning intermittently illuminated the scene. The creatures, once scattered, began to converge into a chaotic mass. Their bodies intertwined and merged, creating a monstrous entity that emanated a dark and malevolent aura. The fusion of the creatures was completed with a loud roar, and before Goku and Vegeta emerged, a nightmarish creature. The fused creature had a grotesque figure, with twisted limbs and glowing eyes filled with evil. Its body was enveloped in a halo of dark energy, which distorted the space around it. The ground shook with every step he took, and the waves of evil energy generated chaos on the battlefield. Goku and Vegeta exchanged determined glances. They knew they faced an unprecedented threat. The fusion of the creatures had given rise to a being of incredible power and speed. Goku frowned, clenching his fists, while Vegeta gave a cocky grin.
Kakarot, looks like things have become interesting. I didn't expect to have to face something like this.
Yes, Vegeta. This creature's no joke. We're gonna have to give it our all.
Both warriors raised their ki to the maximum, surrounding themselves with an intense golden and blue aura. Their hair stood on end and the earth trembled under the pressure of their combined power. The fused creature responded with a guttural laugh and advanced towards them with great strides.
Come on, Vegeta, let's attack together and put an end to this!
For once, Kakarot, I agree.
The battle reached its climax as Goku and Vegeta, enveloped in their golden and blue auras, launched themselves towards the fused creature. Every punch and burst of energy echoed through the air, creating a spectacle of flashes and booms. The creature, however, was not easy to defeat. Its agility and strength were astounding, dodging the Saiyan's attacks with ease. Vegeta, we need to find an opening in its defense! Focus!
I know, Kakarot, but this thing's fast!
The fused creature responded with a ripping attack, sending the Saiyans flying across the battlefield. Goku and Vegeta, however, quickly recovered and stood up with renewed determination. We can't underestimate this thing! Come on, Vegeta! Let's attack together!
Alright, Kakarot, together we'll defeat it!
Goku nodded and they concentrated their energies into an amazing combined attack. A brilliant flash of light and blue light materialized in their hands, growing with each second. The fused creature, seeing the imminent threat, tried to counterattack, but it was too late. Kame! Ah!
Final Flash!
The powerful beam of combined energy shot towards the fused creature, illuminating the dark battle with its radiance. However, just when impact seemed inevitable, the creature, in the last act of desperation, deployed a dark shield that managed to resist the Saiyan's assault. The result explosion sent Goku and Vegeta flying backwards, returning them to their base form, leaving them dazed and severely injured on the ground. The fused creature, though weakened, struggled to its feet, its malevolent aura flickering, but far from fading completely. Vegeta, we're in trouble! This thing's stronger than we thought! Vegeta, however, lay motionless on the ground with visible wounds and his aura rapidly diminishing. Vegeta! Don't give up, Vegeta! The fused creature, slowly recovering, calmly approached towards Vegeta with a palpable malevolence in its glowing eyes.
Your efforts are futile. I'm the amalgam of darkness itself. This is the end of you, Saiyan Prince.
Goku, full of rage and despair, stood up and threw himself towards the creature with what was left of his strength. However, the creature, with a simple wave of its hand, unleashed a wave of dark energy that enveloped Kakarot and threw him violently to the ground. Vegeta, we need a plan. The fused creature approached Vegeta, lifting him off the ground with one hand. The Saiyan Prince, barely conscious, opened his eyes to meet the cold, merciless gaze of his energy.
Kakarot, do whatever it takes.
The fused creature, with a contemptuous gesture, threw Vegeta back to the ground, leaving him on the verge of death. The battle, which had begun with hope, now became bleaker than ever. With his partner down and his own strength waning, Kakarot faced a strength that seemed insurmountable. Goku, sensing the desperation of the situation, recalled the hermit seeds he carried with him. The moment the fused creature came speeding towards him, Goku managed to dodge the blow swiftly, approached Vegeta and handed him one of the valuable seeds. Vegeta, eat this! It'll give you the energy to keep fighting! At the same time, Goku also consumed one of the seeds. Vegeta, barely conscious, accepted the seed and consumed it urgently. The hermit seed acted quickly, healing Vegeta's wounds and restoring his life energy. Flashes of golden light surrounded the Saiyan Prince as he stood up, his eyes regaining determination.
Kakarot, don't underestimate me. I can keep fighting.
Fine, Vegeta, but we need something else to defeat this creature. Do you remember the fusion technique? Vegeta frowned but nodded in understanding. Both Saiyans positioned themselves in front of the fused creature, focusing their energies. Vegeta, let's do it! Let's merge!
I don't think it'll come to this, Kakarot, but I have no choice.
Both warriors stood side by side, raising their hands into the front and began to concentrate their energies. The atmosphere was filled with a brilliant glow as the two Saiyans merged into a single entity. The resulting figure was a perfect combination of Goku and Vegeta with a powerful golden aura enveloping their fused bodies. This fusion creature showed signs of unease as it witnessed the transformation. The new Saiyan entity turned to it with a determined look. The fusion between Goku and Vegeta, known as Gogeta, and his Super Saiyan form was now evident. Gogeta, with the combined voice of Goku and Vegeta, said, "Prepare for defeat. We're the fusion of the Saiyans, there's nothing we cannot overcome." With a unified shout, the Saiyan fusion lunged towards the fused creature with incredible speed and power. The battle between the Saiyan fusion and the fused creature erupted into a frenzy of power and skill. Every move, every blow, every burst of energy shook the battlefield. The earth trembled under the intensity of the confrontation, and the sky lit up with the sparks of energy released during the fight. Gogeta, with the combination of Goku's cunning and Vegeta's determination, proved to be an unstoppable force. However, the fused creature did not yield easily, showing a resilience that defied expectations. Both contenders were at a stalemate, each pushing their limits to the max. Goku and Vegeta, in their fused form, began to feel the need to unleash more power to overcome their more formidable foe. In a moment of perfect synchronization, both Saiyans raised their ki to the limit, and the atmosphere itself began to be distorted with the built-up pressure.
It's time to take this to the next level!
In a dazzling flash, the Saiyan fusion underwent an astonishing metamorphosis. His once golden hair now turned sapphire blue, and his aura took on a heavenly hue. The transformation to Super Saiyan Blue had taken place. The fused creature recoiled momentarily as it witnessed the new form. Shocked by the magnitude of the power unleashed, however, the Saiyan fusion showed no mercy and lunged towards with dizzying speed.
Prepare for true Saiyan strength!
The attacks and counterattacks reached a speed that defied perception. The fused creature, despite its previous endurance, was outmatched by the speed and aggressiveness of the Saiyan fusion in its Super Saiyan Blue form. The battle had not yet come to an end. In a final attempt to resist, the fused creature unleashed its own dark power, enveloping the Saiyan fusion in a spiral of chaotic energy. Gogeta, in response, concentrated his energy to the maximum in an act of rage.
Let's go farther!
The energy surrounding the Saiyan fusion intensified and exploded in a dazzling burst. The bright blue aura became more intense, and the power of the Saiyan fusion increased to unimaginable levels. The sky lit up with glows and waves of energy as the fused creature faced Gogeta's unstoppable strength. However, in an unexpected twist, the creature began to build up a dark and sinister energy, revealing a hidden power.
Your resistance is impressive, Saiyans, but you have not seen my true potential.
The fused creature transformed, its fusion distorting further. A black aura filled with malevolence surrounded its body as its eyes glowed with terrifying intensity.
What the hell is it doing?
The fused creature, now imbued with a new dark power, lunged at Gogeta with surprising speed. Despite Gogeta's formidable strength in his Super Saiyan Blue form, the fused creature seemed to be able to anticipate even more.
Now you'll experience true darkness.
Gogeta sensed the threat, deciding to take his own power to the extreme. In a blink of an eye, he activated the technique, the Kaioken. His blue aura multiplied into a mixture of blue and red, and the intensity of the battle reached levels never seen before.
It's time to put an end to this! Kaioken!
Gogeta's speed and strength multiplied exponentially, and the fused creature was momentarily caught off guard. However, the creature counterattacked with a blast of dark energy that enveloped Gogeta, but he struggled to resist. Gogeta, in his Kaioken state, felt the need to raise his power even higher. Thus, his ki increased, causing the earth to tremble from such immense power, destroying mountains and lifting rocks into the skies. At that precise moment, he disappeared from the sight of the fused creature, appearing from behind and creating a glowing bluish sphere of energy that materialized between his hands.
Final Kamehameha!
The energy sphere impacted against the fused creature with unparalleled force. The resulting explosion lit up the sky, dispersed the creature's dark energy. However, when the light faded, the fused creature emerged once again, albeit visibly weakened.
Do not underestimate my power, Saiyans. I have attained a form beyond your comprehension.
Gogeta, sensing the gravity of the situation, prepared for the next confrontation. The battle, far from over, was entering even more dangerous terrain, with the fate of the universe hanging in the balance in this fierce struggle between light and darkness. The battlefield was plunged into utter chaos, with destructive shockwaves reverberating throughout space. Gogeta, with his combined aura of Super Saiyan Blue and Kaioken, was moving at speeds that defied perception. The fused creature, despite his new enhanced form, was momentarily outmatched by the Saiyan warrior's speed.
Darkness cannot defeat light! It's time to seal your fate!
Though weakened, the fused creature did not give up. With impressive speed, it lunged towards Gogeta, unleashing a series of dark attacks that even defied the Kaioken's speed.
Your light is but a fleeting glimmer. In the eternity of darkness, you will suffer.
Gogeta, with sharp reflexes at precise moments, will dodge the fused creature's attacks. The battle reached an even greater frenzy, with a clash of fists and kicks creating waves of energy that swept the surrounding landscape. The once dark and stormy sky were illuminated by the flashes on the contest. In the beginning of the moment of opportunity, Gogeta channeled the Kaioken to an even higher level. His aura became more intense, mixing blue with red in a dazzling display. Seeing the new burst of power, the fused creature recoiled momentarily, a moment Gogeta took advantage of to gather energy.
This is the limit of your darkness. Prepare for the end.
Gogeta, with unmatched speed, appeared in front of the fused creature, concentrating his energy to a single point. A glowing sphere of energy formed between his hands, but this time, the sphere was not blue, it was a mixture of colors. A fusion of the power of Super Saiyan Blue and Kaioken.
Kaioken 20 times! Final Kamehameha!
The now larger, more powerful energy sphere hurled with impressive speed towards the fused creature. The resulting explosion illuminated the entire horizon, causing the mountains and valleys to be enveloped in a dazzling glow. When the light faded, the fused creature lay defeated on the ground. Its dark aura completely dissipated. Gogeta, with his Super Saiyan Blue form and Kaioken still activated, watched cautiously. The intense battle had come to an end, but the price of the confrontation was reflected in the devastated earth and the wear and tear visible on the Saiyan warrior.
I hope that was enough. This universe can't take any more of this destruction.
With a flash, Gogeta deactivated the Kaioken and returned to his base form. As silence descended over the battlefield, the lingering question was whether the threat had truly been eliminated or if there was still challenges to be faced in the vast cosmos. Goku and Vegeta, feeling that the threat had been neutralized for the moment, separated from the Saiyan fusion. The intensity of the battle had left both Saiyans exhausted, but their attention was diverted to a disturbing reality. In the corner of their vision, they watched as a small dark creature made its way towards where Gohan and Broly were standing. Vegeta, something's happening! We must get there fast!
Those two are in trouble if that thing gets to them. Let's go, Goku!
Both Saiyans, despite their exhaustion, dashed towards Gohan and Broly's location with as much speed as possible. As they approached, they could see the dark creature getting closer and closer to the two warriors. Gohan, who was training with Broly in an attempt to increase his skills, noticed Goku and Vegeta's arrival urgently. Dad! Vegeta! Something's coming! Broly, with his piercing gaze, had also sensed the approaching threat.
Evil creature! We will fight!
The small dark creature, noticing the presence of the Saiyans, stopped advancing and displayed a malevolent laugh.
Ha ha ha! Your victory was short-lived. This is only the first of many surprises.
Before they could react, the dark creature split into multiple smaller shadows, surrounding Gohan and Broly with astonishing speed. Watch out, Broly! They're fast and dangerous!
We will fight! We won't let them defeat us!
Goku and Vegeta, arriving just in time, joined the battle. The battle became a chaotic dance of blows and explosions as the Saiyans fought the dark shadows that multiplied endlessly.
Let's finish this quickly! Gohan, Broly, stay strong!
Got it, Vegeta! Broly, unleashing his titanic power, emitted a wave of energy that temporarily dispersed the dark shadows. However, the dark creature, in a final act of desperation, merged back into a larger, more powerful form.
My shadows cannot be so easily defeated. The real battle has just begun.
The shadow creature, now strengthened and more menacing than ever, faced the four Saiyan warriors with palpable malevolence. Gohan, Broly, Goku, and Vegeta moved into battle stance, facing the shadow creature with determination. Come on, guys! Let's work together and put an end to this menace once and for all! Broly growled in agreement, his power emanating from him with an imposing force. Goku and Vegeta, despite their earlier exhaustion, raised their energies ready for the battle ahead. The shadow creature, with a sinister laugh, lunged towards them with surprising speed. The Saiyans responded with a coordinated assault, launching energy blasts and performing combo attacks. However, the shadow creature was agile and dodged their attacks with ease.
We can't let this thing get away. Concentrate on attacking together.
You're right, Vegeta. If we fight them as a team, we can overcome anything. The four Saiyans synchronized their movements, attacking in harmony. Broly unloaded titanic blows. Gohan used his agility and advanced techniques, while Goku and Vegeta coordinated their energies to create a combined assault. Despite their efforts, the shadow creature proved to be resilient and adaptable. It defended with cunning and counterattacked with fury. In a moment of tension, the shadow creature unleashed a dark glow that enveloped its form, transforming to an even more powerful and monstrous version. It's getting stronger again!
It doesn't matter. I'll destroy it.
The battle intensified as the shadow creature in its enhanced form launched waves of dark energy and unleashed more devastating attacks. The Saiyans, however, did not back down. Despite the gravity of the situation, their determination burned stronger than ever. There's no limit to our strength when we fight together. Come on, guys, we can't lose.
This thing doesn't know who it's messing with. Get ready for what's coming.
Gohan, Broly, Goku, and Vegeta channeled their energies to the maximum, shaking the earth under the intensity of their combined power. In a unified act, the four Saiyans raised their ki to the limit and lunged towards the shadow creature with indomitable resolve. The shadow creature, now in its strengthened form, unleashed a dark energy that enveloped Broly, possessing the mighty Saiyan with a malevolent influence. Broly, his eyes now awash with shadows, stood before the other Saiyans with a menacing presence. Broly, I won't let you be used as a puppet. We must save him. We won't let this thing manipulate Broly. Come on, guys, let's protect ourselves and save our friend.
This is getting more complicated than I thought. But no matter, we won't let the darkness win.
The battle began with the shadow creature using Broly's immense power against them. The controlled Saiyans' attacks were fierce, with waves of energy and bursts of ki that challenged even the most experienced warriors. The Saiyans dodged and counterattacked, but the shadow creature took advantage of Broly's brute strength to counter his moves. We must weaken it enough to free Broly! Dad, Vegeta, let's follow the plan and attack in unison! The three Saiyans coordinated, launching a series of swift and powerful attacks. However, the shadow creature moved with agility, dodging most of the blows and countering with blows of its own. Broly, under the influence of the Dark Possession, was showing superhuman endurance. It's not enough! Broly, fight against this influence!
We must force him to break free. We're gonna give it our all.
In a moment of desperation, the Saiyans decided to raise their powers to the maximum. Goku transformed into Super Saiyan second stage, Gohan advanced his mystical form, and Vegeta unleashed his own power into Super Saiyan second stage. The three Saiyans surrounded Broly, launching a combination of flurry of powerful attacks. Broly, resist! Don't let their darkness consume you! The shadow creature, feeling the combined presence of the three Saiyan warriors, showed signs of weakness. However, in a desperate act, the dark energy intensified its hold on Broly, raising its power even higher and unleashing unbridled fury. We can't give up! We're going to free Broly, whatever it takes! The battle reached its climax as the three Saiyan warriors, Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta, clashed against the shadow creature possessing Broly. The unleashed energy created a spectacle of flashes, explosions, and shockwaves that shook the battlefield. Goku, with his power as a Super Saiyan, moved with astonishing speed, launched energy blasts and accurate punches at the shadow creature. Gohan, in his mystical form, unleashed a combination of fast attacks and advanced techniques, seeking to weaken the dark possession that controlled Broly. Vegeta, in his Super Saiyan second phase form, displayed titanic power, coordinating his attacks with calculated precision. Broly, listen to my voice! Don't be consumed by this darkness! The shadow creature, however, resisted tenaciously, harnessing Broly's brute strength and ferocity to counter the Saiyan's attacks. Broly, under the Dark Possession, responded with unstoppable strength, his attacks more intense and uncontrolled. We need to weaken that possession! Come on, guys, keep up the pressure!
This dark power won't last forever. We must resist!
The battle grew more frantic. With each passing moment, the shadow creature, sensing the threat of the Saiyans, intensified its hold on Broly, fusing its dark energy with the brute strength of the legendary Saiyan. We can't back down now! Broly's our friend, and we won't let this darkness control him! In a moment of perfect synchronization, the three Saiyans focused their energies into a coordinated attack. Goku launched a Kamehameha, Gohan unleashed a Masenko, and Vegeta fired a final flash, all aimed at the shadow creature. The resulting explosion illuminated the battlefield, creating an energy storm. However, when the light faded, the shadow creature and Broly still stood, visibly weakened but far from defeated. It's not enough! We must find a way to free Broly from this possession! At that moment, the shadow creature, taking advantage of the Saiyan's momentary weakness, launched a surprise attack, sending Goku and Gohan to the ground. Vegeta, with his rage in his eyes, stood up determined.
Enough's enough! We won't let this thing continue to manipulate Broly.
Vegeta concentrated his ki to the maximum, unleashing a new transformation. His intense blue aura transformed into an even brighter and more powerful hue.
Super Saiyan Blue!
The atmosphere itself seemed to tremble at the magnitude of the transformation. Vegeta, now in his evolved form, launched himself towards the shadow creature with renewed speed and power. Vegeta's transformation in Super Saiyan Blue evolved caused a dramatic change in the intensity of the battle. His bright blue aura flashed with overwhelming energy as he charged towards the shadowy creature and Broly, who was still under his influence.
It's time to put an end to this. Broly, I'll fight to free you from this darkness.
The shadow creature, sensing the threat posed by Super Saiyan Blue, adopted a defensive stance. On the other hand, Broly, his eyes still darkened, prepared to face Vegeta. Vegeta unleashed a flurry of quick and precise attacks, combining punches and kicks with astonishing speed. Each move was charged with the strength of the new form, and the shadow creature was forced to retreat in the face of Vegeta's fury.
Broly, regain control. I'll not allow this darkness to consume you.
Broly, under the influence of the dark possession, responded with impressive stamina. His attacks were brutal and uncontrolled, but Vegeta moved with a dexterity that defied expectations.
I need to find an opening in this possession.
In an act of bravery, Vegeta launched himself directly towards Broly. Their fists collided forcefully, and Vegeta, using all his skill, made precise strikes that temporarily weakened the dark influence.
Broly, fight this! You're stronger than this darkness!
The shadowy creature, seeing Vegeta's resistance, increased his energy and fused even more with Broly. Now the dark influence was more entrenched than ever, and Broly unleashed an explosion of wild power.
You can't stop me, Saiyan Prince!
Vegeta, not backing down, continued to engage Broly. The battle reached new heights as both warriors unleashed the most powerful attacks. Vegeta launched a Big Bang attack while Broly responded with a gigantic charge of dark energy. The collision of energies generated a huge explosion that blanketed the area. After the dust settled, Vegeta lay on the ground, clearly exhausted but not giving up.
I can't lose. My determination's stronger than your darkness.
The battle between Vegeta and Broly, who was possessed by the shadow creature, reached a critical point. The overflowing energy of the confrontation was spreading across the battlefield, distorting the air and creating palpable tension. At that crucial moment, Goku found himself regaining consciousness, stood up, and immediately went to Saiyan's Prince's side.
Vegeta, let's go! Let's give it all we've got!
Goku's transformation into Super Saiyan Phase 2 and joined the fray. The shadow creature, seeing the arrival of another Saiyan warrior, prepared to face the new threat.
Kakarot, you're just in time. This thing has gotten stronger with Broly.
We'll face it together! Broly, we won't let this darkness control you!
The three Saiyans stood in formation, ready to deal with the shadow creature fused with Broly. The intensity of the conflict increased even more with flashes of energy and clashes of fists echoing throughout the battlefield.
Come on, Kakarot, let's attack in unison and free Broly.
I got it, Vegeta! Together, we'll free him!
The Saiyans coordinated their attacks, launching a combined blast towards the shadow creature. Despite their efforts, Broly's dark possession was still resisting, fueled by the brute strength of the legendary Saiyan. Broly, under the influence of the shadow creature, unleashed an uncontrolled fury. His attacks were unpredictable and devastating, putting the Saiyans on the defensive. Goku, Vegeta, and the shadow creature continued to exchange energy blasts and powerful blows.
Vegeta, we must break that possession! We can't let Broly fall into darkness!
Roger that, Kakarot. Let's keep attacking together.
Amidst the chaos of the battlefield, the fiery aura of the Saiyans lit up the sky, a visual manifestation of their mammoth power. Goku and Vegeta, feeling the weight of the battle, decided to take it a step further. They joined their energies in a symphony of power, a final bid to tear apart the shadows enveloping the evil presence. The shadow creature on the brink of the abyss responded with desperation. It raised its own power and the darkness churned with intensity as it struggled to resist the combined onslaught of the Saiyans. The clash of energies created a cataclysm of flashes and booms, shaking the battlefield to its core. At that critical moment, the energy explosion was unleashed with dazzling magnificence. The earth shook, and the shockwaves swept across the landscape, leaving behind a trail of destruction. Goku, Vegeta, and Broly, enveloped in the blanket of the explosion, were momentarily eclipsed by the blinding light and dancing shadow. When the shimmering luminosity faded, the Saiyans found themselves faced with a new scenario. On the ground lay Broly, his figure shrouded in a residual haze of the contest. The dark aura that had consumed him had finally dissipated. Stillness reigned on the battlefield. As the warriors approached with worried looks, the formidable warrior who now resisted, his power darkened, finally silenced.
We did it, Vegeta! Broly's free! Yes, but this shadow creature's still a problem. We can't let our guard down.
Vegeta nodded grimly as they watched Broly, who lay on the ground, slowly recovering from the intense battle. However, at that moment of apparent calm, the shadow creature, cunning and unnoticed, had left Broly's possession to seek a new host. The dark entity swiftly swept into the shadows, unnoticed by the Saiyans, who still assessing their companion's condition. Silently, the shadow creature crept towards Gohan, who had been watching the battle from a distance. Gohan, oblivious to the threat looming over him, felt a shiver run down his spine just as the shadow creature enveloped him with its dark presence. A momentary flash of its eyes indicated that something was terribly wrong. At that instant, Gohan, with a sudden alteration in his expression, went on guard without warning. His gaze, now posed by the shadow creature, glowed with a malevolence that contrasted with his gentle nature. Goku, noticing the sudden tension, turned towards Gohan, but before he could react, Gohan, under the influence of the shadow creature, moved with supernatural speed. The confrontation with Broly had left the Saiyans exhausted, and the shadow creature, seizing the opportunity, vanished into the darkness along with Gohan. Vegeta, realizing the situation, gritted his teeth in fury. The threat persisted, and now Gohan, a valuable ally, was in the hands of the shadows. Goku and Vegeta, despite their exhaustion, prepared for a new confrontation, aware that the battle had not yet come to an end. The tension in the air was palpable, as Goku and Vegeta, still worried about Broly, with determination, turned towards the place where the dark entity had vanished.
Damn it! Where'd that thing go?
I don't know, Vegeta, but we must find it before it hurts Gohan. The two Saiyans, quick as the wind, rushed towards where Gohan had been standing, their senses alert. The shadow creature, now inside Gohan, emerged from the shadows with a sinister laugh.
Ha 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 ha! Looks like they're not as cunning as they thought. Now I have a new toy for my plans. Get out of Gohan, you damn creature!
I'll not allow you to possess my son!
Ha! You think you could stop me? My power possesses even more of your combined forces. Do not underestimate the Saiyans. We have overcome greater challenges than you.
Leave Gohan and face your fate, creature. You'll not be victorious. The shadow creature, now in control of Gohan, smiled malevolently before responding.
We'll see how long you can resist. Gohan is now an instrument of my will.
The shadow creature possessing Gohan unleashed a burst of dark energy that distorted the surrounding space. Goku and Vegeta suddenly found themselves during a chaotic confrontation, with Gohan now transformed into an instrument of the malevolent entity. The waves of energy radiating from Gohan's possessed figure created an ominous aura that filled the battlefield, defying the Saiyans' endurance and determination. The Saiyans, in their Super Saiyan Blue form, prepared for the impending clash. The shadow creature, using Gohan's body, moved with supernatural agility, dodging the Saiyans' first attacks with grace and malice. Gohan, his eyes now filled with darkness, lunged at Goku with astonishing speed. Goku blocked Gohan's first few blows with difficulty, feeling the enhanced strength and speed of his new controlled son. The fight was intense, each move charged with power and ferocity. Meanwhile, Vegeta positioned himself strategically, assessing the situation, looking for an opening to attack. The shadow creature, through Gohan, unleashed a flurry of attack, which devastating blows that kept Goku on the defensive. However, Goku's ability to adapt quickly to the battle allowed him to counter the attacks and counterattack with his own overwhelming power. Vegeta, sensing an opportunity, lunged at the shadow creature from an unexpected angle. However, the dark entity had sharp reflexes and deflected Vegeta's attack with ease, throwing Gohan against Goku as a distraction. The Shadows creature's strategy paid off, as it took advantage of the distraction to hit Vegeta with a beam of dark energy. Vegeta, although he resisted the impact, was momentarily weakened. The entity, now with a malevolent smile, turned to him.
Damn it! This isn't over, Shadow creature.
Goku, reacting quickly, stepped between the Shadow creature and Vegeta.
Vegeta, hold on! We can't let this thing divide us.
The Shadow creature, enjoying the chaos at its zone, released a dark aura that enveloped both Saiyans. The dark energy sought to confuse and weaken their senses. However, the Saiyans' instinctive connection to Ki enabled them to resist the dark influence. The battle raged in a frenzy of clashing colors and energies. Gohan, controlled by the Shadow creature, moved with a mixture of speed and agility that defied the laws of physics. Goku and Vegeta, each focusing on their own battlefront, were trying to coordinate their attacks to free Gohan from the dark possession.
Gohan, fight this darkness! You're stronger than this!
Gohan, though showing flashes of resistance, was caught in an internal struggle between his will and the Shadow creature's control. The battle grew more challenging. With each passing second, the Shadow creature reveled in its ability to manipulate and corrupt one of Earth's mightiest warriors. Vegeta, recovering from the earlier onslaught, threw himself back into the fray. The Shadow creature, however, anticipated his attack and gracefully dodged Vegeta's attempts to strike it. The dark entity counterattacked with a series of precise blows that forced Vegeta to retreat.
You damn Shadow. Don't underestimate the Prince of the Saiyans.
Goku, seeing his partner's difficulty, raised his power to the maximum. Dazzling energy emanated from his Super Saiyan Blue form as he prepared for a concentrated attack. The Shadow creature, noticing the glowing threat, diverted its attention to Goku.
Vegeta, keep up the pressure! I'm gonna concentrate my energy to free Gohan!
Vegeta nodded and increased his offensive, distracting the Shadow creature as Goku concentrated his power. The fight reached a new level of intensity, with each move echoing across the vast battlefield. The energy collided, creating shockwaves that distorted reality itself. Goku, eyes glowing with determination, unleashed his most powerful attack. A sphere of glowing blue energy formed in his outstretched hands. Charged with the combined strength of the Saiyans, the spear grew in size and the power as Goku had held it in place.
It's time to free Gohan!
The Shadow creature, realizing the threat, moved quickly to stop Goku's attack. Vegeta, taking advantage of the distraction, lunged with renewed fury, looking for an opening to attack. The battle reached its climax when Goku released the energy sphere, ascending it directly towards the Shadow creature. The energy sphere burst into a dazzling flash, illuminating the battlefield with intense light. Shockwaves swept through the darkness as Goku's purifying energy sought to free Gohan from the Shadow creature's possession. However, as the light faded and the earth stopped shaking, the Shadow creature emerged seemingly unharmed. The dark entity, now irritated, turned to the Saiyans with a twisted laugh.
Is that all you can do? My power is unbreakable.
Goku and Vegeta, despite their exhaustion, prepared for the next assault. The battle, far from ending, dragged on into confrontation of epic proportions. Darkness and light collided in an endless clash, with the will of the Saiyans resisting against the entity that threatened to plunge them into the shadows. The dark creature, after resisting Goku's powerful attack, showed a malicious smile. A dark glow enveloped Gohan, and his body began to tremble with intensity. A guttural scream echoed through the air as the dark entity forced a unique transformation on the Saiyan warrior. Gohan, under the Shadow creature's influence, contorted and his body was enveloped in a dark, feral energy. The earth trembled with the intensity of the transformation, and Gohan's figure began to change. Defined musculature, red eyes, a wild gaze, long gray hair, and emerging in the new form, Gohan Dark Beast. Vegeta and Goku, shocked by the unexpected evolution, instinctively recoiled from the overwhelming presence of Dark Gohan Beast. The Shadow creature had accomplished what it could not do with Broly, unleash a unique and uncontrolled transformation on Gohan. Dark Beast Gohan, now freed from any hint of rationality, roared skyward, emitting an overwhelming energy that shook the battlefield. His eyes glowed with an animalistic intensity, and his posture indicated that human control was suppressed.
This can't be happening. What did that thing do?
The shadow creature managed to unlock something inside Gohan. This won't be easy.
The shadow creature, pleased with the success of its manipulation, watched the scene with satisfaction.
Now, witness my true power, the Saiyan Beast Warrior. How do you plan to stop him?
Dark Beast Gohan let out a deafening roar and lunged towards Vegeta with impressive speed. Dark Beast Gohan's attacks were ferociously savage, his brute strength and speed surpassing even Broly's most rampaging transformation. Vegeta, using his speed and agility, dodged Dark Beast Gohan's first attacks. However, the Saiyan Beast Warrior's ferocity was unpredictable, and Vegeta was forced to deploy all his skill to stay out of range of the devastating attacks. Goku, assessing the situation, transformed into Super Saiyan Blue and rushed to Vegeta's aid. The two Saiyans fought in tactical coordination, looking to open an opportunity to counter Gohan's savage new form. The battle became a whirlwind of energy, with explosions and crashes echoing across the battlefield. The shadow creature in the shadows continued to manipulate and fuel Dark Beast Gohan's fury. The Saiyan strategy was becoming more and more challenging as Dark Beast Gohan seemed to be one step ahead, anticipating their moves.
Damn it! Gohan Beast is too unpredictable.
We must find a way to free Gohan from this transformation. We can't let the shadow control his true power.
As the Saiyans faced Gohan Beast's fury, the shadow creature watched from the shadows, enjoying the chaos he had unleashed. The situation was becoming more critical with each passing moment, and the Saiyans' endurance was being tested in the face of Beast Gohan's uncontrollable fury. The battle raged on in a titanic struggle between light and darkness, with the hope of freeing Gohan from the influence of the shadow creature hanging in delicate balance. The Saiyans, determined to overcome this challenge, faced an enemy that had managed to unleash an even greater internal threat than before. While the intense battle raged on the battlefield, Piccolo, the Namekian sage, was immersed in his mental training somewhere secluded. His concentration was so deep that he could feel an abrupt shift in ki, a disturbance that reverberated through space and time. A shiver ran down his back, indicating the gravity of the situation.
Something's not right.
The Namekian instantly stood up, his cloak billowing as he focused on the direction of the glowing chaos. The power he felt was not just brute force. It was an amalgam of dark energies that seemed to defy the very essence of reality. Wasting no time, Piccolo prepared to approach this side of the conflict. Back on the battlefield, Goku and Vegeta fought valiantly against Dark Beast Gohan, who moved with uncontrollable ferocity under the influence of the shadow creature. The dark entity, sensing Piccolo's arrival, smirked.
Looks like we have a new guest. This just gets more interesting.
Goku and Vegeta focused on Gohan Beast, noticing Piccolo's presence as he appeared on the battlefield with a serenity that contrasted with the surrounding chaos.
What happened here? What have you done with Gohan?
That shadow thing possessed Gohan and transformed it into a wild beast.
We can't free Gohan this way. The shadow creature manipulates his power in unimaginable ways.
Dark Beast Gohan, noticing Piccolo's arrival, turned to him with wild eyes. The shadow creature, enjoying the chaos, prepared for the next act of this heartbreaking play.
Welcome, Piccolo. You're just in time to witness the inevitable downfall of these Saiyans.
Don't underestimate the Saiyans or my determination. I'm here to free Gohan.
The Namekian braced himself for the confrontation, deploying his ki with an intensity that made it clear he would not be a mere spectator in this battle. Dark Beast Gohan, fueled by the shadowy influence, roared and lunged towards Piccolo with a speed that defied all logic. The battle became even more chaotic with Piccolo's entrance. His movements were precise and calculated, contrasting with the wild ferocity of Dark Beast Gohan. Goku and Vegeta, aware of Piccolo's strategic skill, adjusted their approach to coordinate their attacks with the Namekian. Meanwhile, the shadow creature watched the battle with a Machiavellian smile, enjoying the confrontation between the forces of light and shadow. The dark entity was determined to prove that its influence was insurmountable. The fight unfolded in a whirlwind of colliding energies, with Piccolo demonstrating his tactical and strategic prowess. Dark Beast Gohan, however, remained a formidable challenge, his erratic movements and uncontrolled strength testing the tenacity of the warriors on the battlefield.
Goku, Vegeta, we need to plan to break the connection between Gohan and that shadow creature.
You're right, Piccolo. We need to attack from different fronts and destabilize that connection.
I'll take care of keeping Beast Gohan busy. Kakarot, you use the connection you have with your son to try to isolate the shadow creature.
Goku and Vegeta, coordinating their efforts with Piccolo's strategic expertise, went on the assault. Piccolo used his wisdom to be able to devise a way to get Dark Beast Gohan out of said possession, while Vegeta unleashed his fury with calculated attacks to keep the beast at bay. As the battle continued, the shadow creature began to feel the pressure of the combined strategy of the Saiyans and Piccolo. The connection between Gohan and the Dark Entity was under threat, and the shadow creature, despite its confidence, was beginning to show signs of concern. The battle was far from over, but the warriors' resilience was growing stronger in the face of the adversity that loomed over them. As Piccolo continued his mental struggle to free Gohan from the shadow creature's possession, his Namekian senses sharpened. Keen perception led him to identify a small shadow leech clinging to Dark Beast Gohan's lower neck, a detail that had not been evident in Broly's previous possession due to his long hair covering that region.
That's it. The key in this little shadow leech on his neck. We must eliminate it to free Gohan.
Piccolo's revelation attracted the attention of Vegeta and Goku on the physical battlefield. Vegeta, upon hearing this, turned his gaze to the back of Gohan Beast's dark neck and noticed the presence of the Shadow Leech.
A Shadow Leech? That explains why we couldn't free Broly this way.
How do we eliminate it without harming Gohan? As Piccolo struggled to maintain his mental connection, he analyzed this situation and came up with a strategy.
If we attack the Shadow Leech directly, we might harm Gohan in the process. We need a precise way to eliminate it without endangering his life.
So what's the plan, Piccolo?
Goku, you've mastered Ultra Instinct, but you can only maintain it for a few seconds. We need to take advantage of those brief moments to distract Dark Beast Gohan and allow you to get close enough to destroy the Shadow Leech.
Understood, Piccolo. I'll do my best.
But how do we make sure Beast Gohan doesn't attack while Kakarot's approaching? That's the tricky part. We need to keep Gohan busy and distracted. Vegeta, your attacks must be precise and constant, keeping his attention on you.
I will, but Kakarot, don't make me regret this. The battle resumed with renowned intensity. Vegeta went on the offensive, attacking Gohan Dark Beast with a series of swift and powerful blows. Gohan responded with ferocity, but Vegeta maintained agile, dodging his attacks while keeping the savage Saiyan warrior's attention. At that moment, Goku concentrated, channeling Ultra Instinct. An aura of flickering energy surrounded him as he activated the powerful transformation. His speed increased exponentially, allowing him to easily dodge Dark Beast Gohan's attacks.
Now, Goku, now's your chance.
Goku in his Ultra Instinct state moved with superhuman speed towards Gohan's rear. The shadow creature, still focused on the fierce confrontation with Vegeta, did not notice Goku's approach. This is my chance to end this! With pinpoint accuracy, Goku reached out his hand and touched the small shadow leech on Gohan's neck. The leech, upon being touched by the Ultra Instinct energy, began to fade, emitting a dark screech before dissolving completely. Dark Beast Gohan, losing connection with the Shadow Leech, shook violently, as if releasing himself from a trance. Vegeta, noticing the change, cautiously stepped back as Goku returned to his normal state. What happened?
Kakarot seems to have found a way to free you from that thing.
It was risky, but it worked.
Well done, Goku, but don't let your guard down. This shadow creature might have more tricks up its sleeve.
The immediate threat had been neutralized. The shadow creature, watching from the shadows, moving away unnoticed by the Saiyan warriors, was not about to give up. So the shadow creature set out to return to its master. What will happen next? Find out in the next chapter. Well guys, this is all for today's chapter. I hope you liked it and it was to your liking. Now don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment and subscribe. Now without further ado, see you in a new video. Until next time.